A man declared that he was expelling Alicia from the Promeus territory. Alicia Promeus, the 16-year-old daughter of a count, stood in shock and could only mutter in confusion. Alicia had been holding on to her late mother's words, promising to take care of the Promeus territory. She had striven as the Lord's daughter up until that day, but her father declared that as of that moment she was no longer the house's daughter. Alicia rushed after her father, begging him to wait and demanding to know what this meant. An explosion shook the area. Someone reported that the shed in the courtyard had just exploded. Alicia was stunned. In the western Promeus territory, Cyan territory, an adventurer party called the Red Eagles found themselves surrounded by monsters again. One member wished they had monster-repelling potions. Another pointed out that even if they did, they would not work on monsters of the Great Forest. The only ones that circulated in town were low-rank and available only in tiny amounts. The adventurer wished there were high-rank monster repellents, saying they could advance the Great Forest survey with them. But he admitted that if an alchemist who could make those existed, they would have already been snatched up by a major trading house or nobles. Alicia cried out upon seeing her laboratory engulfed in flames. Her father told her it was not her laboratory, just trash on his land that he had disposed of. Alicia asked why he would do this, desperately trying to grab something useful from the fire. Her father told her she really did not get it. Her father Thomas declared that he was the lord of the Promeus territory, a count-ranked noble entrusted with this land. He boasted that he had taken this wasteland and developed it into the kingdom's most thriving city and had earned military merit in the Northern War. Thomas told Alicia that she was unfit to be his daughter. He pointed out that his eldest daughter Merida devoted herself to social circles in the royal capital as a proper lady, while Alicia holed up in some herb-smelling hut. Alicia tried to explain that she had been researching potions. Thomas angrily demanded to know what use that was supposed to be. Thomas stated that a woman's worth was decided by whether she could marry into a great house. A daughter who could not even fulfill a noble's duty, playing with that useless compounding skill, was not needed in his house. He ordered Alicia to get out of the territory at once. Alicia silently asked her mother in heaven to forgive her. Alicia noted that for a while she would be too consumed with her own affairs. She lamented having to leave behind her beloved research tools and potions, promising them to wait for her. She then addressed her father, no, Thomas, and vowed to make him regret casting her out. She pledged that no matter what, she would continue making potions and spread their greatness to many people. Alicia tripped and fell flat in the street. A child nearby told his mother not to laugh at clumsy people. Alicia reminded herself that athletic ability was not needed for making potions. What she needed were tools and ingredients, and she said she had made quite a savings from selling potions. She went to the bank but discovered her savings were gone. The banker informed her that a woman named Merida, her sister, had been making withdrawals using a letter of proxy. The banker asked if Alicia had never checked her account until now. Alicia screamed at the Scarol Trading Company building. First her lab had been burned down and she had been expelled, and now her safe was empty. The branch manager Erica Scarol was there. Alicia asked Erica if all the money she had earned from selling potions to her was really gone. Erica confirmed it. Alicia said it seemed her family resented her far more than she had thought. Erica noticed Alicia was really in shock, though it was hard to tell. Erica told Alicia not to let it get her down and said that her compounding skill was something wonderful, and that letting her die in a ditch would be a loss to the world. Alicia asked what was with all the compliments when Erica's mouth was normally so foul. Erica snapped back, threatening to beat her senseless and calling her a penniless brat. Erica pointed out that Alicia had nowhere to go and suggested she become the Scarol Trading Company's exclusive potion maker. As branch manager of the kingdom's biggest trading company, Erica could have the newest workshop built in another territory where Alicia could continue her potion research in the best possible environment, with endless supplies of magic water, ingredients, and papers. Alicia praised the idea as a win-win and called Erica sharp as always. Alicia remarked that Erica was amazing, being the same age of 16 yet already working for the good of society. Erica was caught off guard by the compliment. Alicia said the offer was tempting, but she would have to decline. Erica was shocked and asked what she was planning to do. Alicia explained that a lot had turned out differently than she expected, but being left with nothing had made her realize something. She wanted to try to manage on her own strength, like Erica. Alicia explained that things built with someone else's power could be stolen away by others just as easily. From now on, she wanted to make potions in an environment she created herself. Erica said she understood and would respect Alicia's decision. She asked what Alicia planned to do next. Alicia said there was a town near the Great Forest in the neighboring territory that was rich in materials, and she planned to make and sell potions there. Erica commented that Alicia really did love potions. She then handed Alicia something. Erica had given Alicia a bracelet as a parting gift. It was a magic tool that disguised the wearer's skill. Erica warned that people with the appraisal skill could see through skills and tools, and that Alicia should always keep the bracelet on to avoid needless trouble. Alicia thought the bracelet might be overkill since no one around there would dare use appraisal without permission, though outside the territory it might be different. She reflected that the only skill she possessed was compounding, which simply extracted magical components from ingredients into water. It was not a rare skill and was only useful for potion making. Erica also gave her travel funds. Alicia thought Erica was really thoughtful toward friends even if her mouth was foul. During travel, the wagon driver suddenly yelled for Alicia to get down. Something attacked the wagon. The hired adventurer guard deflected the blow. Alicia admitted there was no way she could have reacted that fast. The guard said it was a good thing she had hired an adventurer for guard duty. A rock lizard monster appeared and attacked. The guard fought it off. Alicia thought that if Erica had not helped her hire guards, she would have been in real danger. The monster's attack injured the horse's leg. The wagon driver was distraught, saying the horse had been his partner for so long. Alicia asked what was wrong. The driver apologized and asked if he could get some water. Back at the Scaril Trading Company, Erica announced to her subordinate that they were pulling out of the Prometheus territory. Her subordinate was shocked and asked why. Erica said the reason was obvious: the land was going to collapse soon. The reason the land had been peaceful was not thanks to the Lord at all. Erica revealed it was all because of Alicia's skill. She explained that skills were divided into 6 levels of proficiency: level I for beginner, levels 2 through 3 for intermediate, level 4 for advanced, and beyond that was masterclass. Alicia decided to use the last remaining healing herb that had survived the fire from her burned-down lab. Alicia activated her skill. In the monster-ridden desolate Prometheus territory, Alicia had been the one who developed monster-repelling potions and single-handedly produced enough to supply the entire land. She had become the bearer of a super-rare skill, one of only 2 people on the whole continent who had it. Erica noted that Alicia did not even realize how amazing her skill was. She thought that if word ever got out that Alicia had such a terrifying skill, the consequences would be frightening. Alicia finally spotted Trid Town in the distance, the town near the Great Forest. She was excited that it looked like she could get plenty of good potion materials there. She tried to set up, but a man with glasses knocked her potion to the ground. He mocked her skills and told her she clearly did not understand. He warned that if she was dealing in potions in Tred Town, she would need to know something. The Red Eagles adventurer party headed back to Tred Town after fighting more monsters. Their leader called out that they wanted good monster repellents. They found themselves surrounded by monsters once again. The wagon driver was amazed that Alicia could make a potion that healed such a deep wound so quickly. He asked if she was someone with an amazing skill. Alicia nervously waved it off, saying she was just a potion researcher. The potion she had made was a Heal Potion 3, a rank 3 potion with medium-level recovery effects. The driver found it underwhelming. Even without an appraisal skill, potion makers could check the effectiveness of what they created. Alicia noted that without special tools or magic power, rank 3 was the limit, and that a rank 3 potion could not even heal bone fractures. She decided she first needed to buy a lot of supplies. The wagon driver offered Alicia a bag as thanks. It was a magic tool with storage magic sewn into it. It could hold far more than it looked and also reduced weight. He had used it for his work supplies. Alicia said something so useful was too much to accept, but the driver insisted, saying she had saved his horse and given him an incredible potion too. He also gave her a city map and recommended an inn. Alicia thought the driver was a very kind person, and found it surprising that someone could be so happy with just a rank 3 potion. She thanked him and said she would use the map right away. She entered a shop and was greeted by a hooded shopkeeper who asked what she was looking for. Alicia was excited by all the potion supplies. She spotted a mortar and pestle on the back shelf and rushed over. She found an adamantite mortar and pestle, made from adamantite ore, said to be the toughest in the world. With it she would never have to worry about breaking it and could safely process even dangerous materials. The funds from Erica were limited, so she could not waste them. The adamantite mortar and pestle was priced at 9,999,999. Alicia wanted it badly but could not afford it. The shopkeeper asked if she would buy it. She said she could not. The shopkeeper offered to knock the price down to 100,000. Alicia was shocked and asked if that was real. The shopkeeper confirmed it and remarked that at Alicia's age having that level of mixing was impressive. Alicia panicked, reminding the shopkeeper that it was bad manners to appraise without permission. She worried that if anyone found out she had mixing EX, she would get dragged into trouble. Alicia realized that thanks to Erica's bracelet, her skill only showed as mixing IV 2 levels lower than the truth. The shopkeeper told her not to worry and promised not to tell anyone, noting that if word got out about mixing IV, weird types would flock to her. The shopkeeper said it was rare to see someone enjoy the shop so much and thought it was fine to let Alicia have the mortar at that price. The shopkeeper told her to come again and promised a discount. Alicia thought it was a lucky start and said that Erica worried too much. She recalled Erica calling her a naive airhead and telling her not to trust people so easily. Alicia felt that today she had learned the world was full of kind people. She now just needed to buy materials. Alicia was walking and thinking about which potion to start making when she bumped into someone. She apologized, saying she was lost in thought. The person she bumped into also apologized. After she left, the person muttered that she was a foolish woman. Alicia arrived at the Long-Eared Rabbit Inn. She reached for her wallet, but it was not there. Her wallet was gone. She realized it must have been a pickpocket and regretted not putting it in her bag after buying food. She thought Erica was right, not everyone in the world was good. The innkeeper found Alicia slumped on the ground. She guessed from Alicia's look that she had lost her wallet. The innkeeper offered to let Alicia stay one night if she washed dishes. Alicia was grateful and thought that even so, not everyone in the world was bad either. Alicia lay in her room wondering what to do. All her money was gone. She did not even have the funds to buy materials to earn money by selling potions. All she had left were the mixing tools she had put in the bag. Alicia got an idea. The town was close to the great forest, which was rich in resources. If she did not have ingredients, she would gather them herself. She made her way to the Adventurers Guild. Adventurers were jack-of-all-trades who took on monster exterminations and gathering in dangerous areas. The guild arranged jobs for them. Alicia noted that adventurers also received lots of information from the guild, which was what the innkeeper had told her. She remarked that it sounded just like the innkeeper, whose name was Kaya. Alicia also noticed that registration seemed easy, and with it she would know where the magic plants grew. Alicia greeted the receptionist and said she wanted to register as an adventurer. The receptionist asked why she wanted to register. Alicia explained that she wanted to know the distribution of magical plants in the forest's great forest. The receptionist was taken aback and said that while registration was open to anyone, lately lots of kids just wanted to get close to the S-rank party Red Eagles, basically idol chasers. She said that it caused trouble for the guild and that those without resolve should leave. The receptionist warned Alicia that even plant gathering was very dangerous. She showed Alicia a distribution map of magical plants and pointed out that even near the city at the Flamegrass colony, killer hornets had built nests. A killer hornet was not strong alone, but there were many of them and they carried deadly poison. Because they were so dangerous, adventurers avoided them, and as a result, the buy price of flamegrass had skyrocketed. Alicia asked if the Adventurers Guild also bought magical plants. The receptionist confirmed that they bought monster parts and ores as well. Alicia was pleased to hear that. She asked to see the distribution of plants near the forest entrance. The receptionist realized Alicia was planning to gather flamegrass and warned her that killer hornets were really dangerous and their poison was terrifying. Alicia told her not to worry and said she thought she could manage. The receptionist was taken aback by her confidence. Alicia figured she should be able to earn startup funds for sure. She had originally intended to sell potions, but she had worried whether she would find buyers right away. With the guild buying plants though, she had a path forward. The receptionist had her fill out a registration form. Alicia entered the forest's great forest. A sign warned that the guild took no responsibility for anything that happened inside. She told herself it should be fine since the guild documents were very detailed and she had memorized all the forest information. The Red Eagles returned to town from the great forest. Townspeople cheered at the sight of them. Alicia said she was grateful to those who had investigated the forest. The Red Eagles were heading to the guild for their report. At the Scarl Trading Company potion workshop in the Promeus territory, the workers were shocked to learn that Alicia had been exiled. Erica announced that when the time was right they would move the branch, and told everyone to prepare themselves with that in mind. The potion artisans were upset. They called the Lord an idiot and wondered what would become of the Promeus territory. One lamented that Alicia had left without even saying a word to them. They felt sorry for her. The artisans explained that even with their facilities and magic water, the best they could manage on their own was rank 2 monster repellent. Eventually they would not be able to keep the monsters in the territory under control. That was why they were leaving the land. Erica told them that their safety came first, and that to protect the land everyone had to stay safe. The artisans called out to her. One angrily said that if the stupid lord had not exiled Alicia, none of this would have happened. Erica sighed and told them to get ready. She thought to herself that with Alicia's kind of skill she had probably already obtained permission to sell potions by now. Erica said that the lord would learn just what kind of existence he had thrown away. Alicia was collecting plants in the forest's great forest. She found shizuku grass and kirihaki mushrooms, and noted that the gathering was going smoothly. Her goal for the day was flamegrass, which the guild was buying at a high price. Near the flamegrass colony, a killer bee nest had recently appeared. To deal with that she would need a monster repellent potion. She was gathering materials for that purpose. She confirmed that the plant distribution matched the guild's documents. She figured that if she avoided the areas where monsters appeared it would be safe, and it looked like they could gather the flamegrass easily. Alicia found healing grass and picked it even though it was not used for repellents. She continued gathering, finding plants over in various spots. She then found yarazu grass, which she could use to make a repellent. A small creature called out to her. The creature kept repeating a sound. Alicia realized it was a goblin. She had gotten so absorbed in gathering that she had wandered close to the monster zone. Even though it was not a child-sized monster, there was no way she could stand against one. The goblin approached, and Alicia desperately pretended to be a plant, lying flat on the ground and repeating that she was a plant. The goblin eventually wandered off. Alicia said that was so scary and that she did not feel alive at all, but she thought that maybe thanks to her research she had actually managed to become like a medicinal herb and avoid detection. Alicia felt strangely giddy, maybe because she was relieved. Now that she had the ingredients, she sat by a river and began mixing. She explained that potion quality depended mainly on 4 factors: the quality of magical ingredients, the quality of water, the precision of material pre-processing, and the mixing skill level used to mix them. Even with an EX skill without the other conditions, you could not make high-rank potions. Pre-processing was crucial too. She washed the separated leaves, tore them, and chopped them finely. The finer you crushed magical plants, the easier it was to extract their components. The mortar and pestle were essential for pre-processing. She recalled that it had been a long time since she had processed things by hand. After she had started profiting through the Scarel Company contract, she had quickly stocked up on magical tools for mixing. She found it fun. She needed to remove the water sac from the kirihaki mushroom, but realized she did not have a blade. She had forgotten to buy a knife, so she decided to use a stone as a substitute. She activated her mixing skill and completed her potion, a potion that kept monsters away with medium effectiveness. She noted it was another fail. The imperfect pre-processing of the kirihaki mushroom was showing. She also noted that according to the guild's information, the brook's water was clean enough to drink, but she would have preferred magic water. She hoped the potion would still work. Alicia arrived at the killer hornet nest area. The hornets were swarming near their nest among the flame grass. She observed that forgetting the poison, just being stung by their needles would mean instant death. She explained that monster repellent was not drunk, you just uncapped it and carried it around for the effect. Since she would probably trip and drop it, she decided to apply it to her skin and approach little by little. The repellent was harmless to humans. She uncapped the potion. The killer hornets noticed her approach but then scattered away from her. The repellent was working. Alicia watched in shock as the hornets fled. At the guild, adventurers were complaining that monster repellent was sold out again. They explained that it was monopolized in manufacturing and sales by the Scarel Company, so it was always in short supply. The recipe was kept secret too, so there was no way to get it elsewhere. They called it an unfriendly way to do business, though they acknowledged that guarding techniques was common sense, same as with magic. The Red Eagles had been chatting at the guild for a while. One member admitted they had stayed so long because the receptionist was cute. The leader, a young man named Org, commented that even he could not be helped. Even someone strong enough to have slain an ancient dragon could have things they were not good at. Alicia walked into the guild and dumped a massive pile of flame grass on the counter. The receptionist and everyone nearby were stunned. They asked if it was really flame grass and not a fake. They appraised it and confirmed it was genuine. The receptionist was shocked, asking how Alicia had managed it when there should have been a swarm of killer bees there. Alicia explained that she had made a monster repellent potion, since she was a mixer after all. She said that for a moment she thought it might not work, but she was glad that even rank 3 was effective. The guild staff were stunned. Someone exclaimed that it was monster repellent 3, and they had never even seen one higher than that rank. They said no wonder it worked on killer bees. The receptionist called out that it was how careless of her. Alicia recalled that the Scarel Company had developed and kept the repellent recipe secret. She realized she had just casually revealed that she could make something the Scarel Company monopolized. She remembered that since she had prioritized research, she had let Erica handle the business side and allowed the Scarel Company to take credit for developing the repellent. Before she knew it, she had been able to make something similar on her own. The receptionist said that as long as no one realized Alicia was the original creator, it should be fine for now. The guild staff marveled that an outrageous mixer had appeared. A buyer immediately stepped forward asking to appraise the potion and saying he wanted to buy it if it was genuine. Alicia was surprised that a buyer had appeared so quickly. She thought about how up until now she had relied on Erica since she prioritized research, but from now on she had decided to handle things herself, including business negotiations. She told the buyer that it depended on the price. She presented the potion confidently. The buyer confirmed it was the real thing, monster repellent 3. He was shocked at the amount and said there was a lot of demand for repellents. The receptionist was also shocked at the price being offered. The buyer explained that even adventurers who hunted monsters sometimes got attacked on their way back after being exhausted from a subjugation and lost their lives. With this potion, such tragic accidents would disappear. He begged Alicia to sell it to them. Alicia recalled her father's words calling her a useless daughter playing with a mixing skill who failed even in her noble duties. She thought that if her potion could be of use, she did not know if it counted as proper business, but she would rather beg them to take it. Alicia thanked the buyer. She noted that the flamegrass sale was not quite enough to make up for the stolen wallet, but she would be able to manage living expenses for now. She had also found a buyer for her potions. She pumped her fist and declared that with this, she could survive for a while. Alicia sat alone at night and thought that at times like this, being alone felt lonely. She wished she had someone to consult with, saying it would be reassuring. Below the surface of a nearby body of water, a large dragon-like creature stirred. Alicia finished brewing potions, relieved that the batch was done. It had been about 10 days since she came to the town of Trid. There had been some troubles, but her life had somehow started to stabilize. She paid her lodging fee and gave a potion as thanks. Her next goal was to gather funds for setting up proper equipment. Alicia headed to the guild. The people there noticed her arrival and reacted with excitement, telling each other not to cut ahead in line. She felt some kind of weird pressure from them. She had become known as the green-haired potion seller. At the shop counter, the guild staff greeted her and asked if she was there to sell potions again. Alicia confirmed she had 20 bottles of Monster Repellent 2 in stock. The adventurers went wild trying to buy them. The staff remarked that she was as popular as ever. Alicia found it overwhelming as always. The monster repellent up to rank 2, which had been supplied from Scarlell Trading Company, was not quite effective enough against the monsters of the Great Forest. The high-rank monster repellents Alicia had supplied to Scarlell Trading Company were not for sale but for defending Prometheus territory. Alicia had provided the recipe to Scarlell Trading Company in exchange for spreading that repellent within Prometheus territory. The only ones in general circulation were products made by the company's artisans using that recipe. The demand turned out to be very high even outside the territory, which surprised her. The guild staff asked Alicia what she would be doing after this. Alicia said she was thinking of going to the Spirit Spring. She had seen it before on a map of the Great Forest. The staff asked if she was collecting magic plants and offered to provide potion ingredients for her. Alicia explained that the spring water there carried magical power. It was not of the highest quality, but it might still be usable for potions. One of the ingredients for potion making was called magic water, and she wanted to take a look. Magic water was water containing abundant magical power. Potions brewed with it were more effective than those made with plain water. If potion quality improved with magic water, it would be easier to raise funds, and once her equipment was set up, she could supply monster repellents too. Alicia was pleased with this plan. The guild staff mentioned that the Spirit Spring was close to town and relatively safe, a place where children even took gathering requests as a test of courage. However, there were some odd rumors about it. Alicia entered the Great Forest, noting it had been a while since she was last there. She decided to gather plants on the way and spotted some shuki grass. The rumor about the Spirit Spring bothered her. Some adventurers had claimed they saw a dragon-like head rise from the water's surface. Since then, people said a real spirit lived there. The rumor was tied to the origin of the Spirit Spring itself. The guild staff had told her it was just a rumor but wondered if it could have actually been a dragon-type monster instead of a spirit. Alicia decided that if there was even the slightest sense of danger, they would turn back immediately. She arrived at the spring and was shocked by what she found. Alicia told herself she had to prioritize the spring water first, but she was amazed by how many magic plants unique to watersides were growing there. She cried out in pain when something happened, then yelled for someone to stop. A group of boys were at the spring, kicking and bullying a small turtle-like creature. They told the creature to stay still like a turtle should. The creature yelled back at them, but the boys taunted it, saying its yelling did not scare them and telling it to fight back if it was mad. Alicia was confused. A turtle was speaking human language and it was being bullied by children. The turtle called out to Alicia, asking for her help. One of the boys demanded to know who she was. Alicia thought she would like to help the turtle, but that it was best not to get involved. The boys claimed the area was their turf and told her to get out. Alicia recognized them as rowdy children in their mischievous years. She tried explaining to them that bullying creatures disrupts the forest's ecosystem and harms medicinal plants. The boys laughed and said they would not listen to a lecture. Alicia realized words would not work and decided to use force. Alicia pulled out some shuki grass. The boys asked what it was and mocked it as just grass. Shuki grass was a magic plant used as potion material that looked ordinary at first glance, but when its leaves were rubbed together strongly, it released a terrible stench. The boys screamed that it stank and called her a weed girl. The boys ran off, swearing they would pay her back. Alicia noted that she was used to the smell, so it did not bother her. But for someone with no brewing experience, it must be unbearable. The smell also affected the turtle, which was surprised by it. Alicia found it interesting that the shuki grass worked on turtles too, calling it a new discovery. The turtle asked for her name. Alicia introduced herself. The turtle thanked her properly and revealed that it was the spirit that guarded the lake. Alicia was surprised to hear it was a spirit. The turtle confirmed it. Alicia remarked that it explained why the turtle could speak human language, but questioned why a spirit was being bullied by children. Spirits were supposed to be beings of immense magical power. The spirit said there were circumstances behind this. A few days earlier, the spirit had been sunbathing in its turtle form by the spring when some children found it. They noticed it had something weird and took its precious jewel, which was crystallized from its magic power, and threw it away. Since then, the days of torment began. Alicia said the spirit had been careless. Without the jewel, the spirit was exposed and vulnerable outside the spring. The spirit explained that when it left the spring, it had to take turtle form or it would stand out too much. The spirit's true form looked quite different. Once, when it had poked its head out of the spring by accident, it frightened a passerby. Alicia recalled the rumor she had heard. Adventurers had claimed to see a dragon-like head from the water. So the rumor was about the spirit's true form, and it was actually a turtle. Alicia suggested the spirit simply retrieve the jewel, since the kids had thrown it into the spring. The spirit said it could not. The jewel had gotten wedged into the rocks. The spirit begged Alicia to fetch the jewel, and in return it swore on its name as a spirit that it would reward her greatly. It offered to give her as much wondrous water imbued with its magic as she liked. Alicia told the spirit to leave it to her and said she supposed this was fate. She decided to make a potion first. She needed ingredients. The spirit was confused about potion making. Alicia asked how deep the jewel was. The spirit said it was about the depth of 10 of itself stacked vertically. Alicia told the spirit not to use turtle standards for a human like her. She asked if there were any monsters in the spring. The spirit said not anymore. Some had tried settling there once, but the spirit had utterly crushed them every time. Alicia noted the spirit was indeed strong as expected of a spirit. Alicia gathered siren grass and balloon grass from around the spring. The spirit asked what she was going to do with them. She explained she would brew them into a potion that would let her act underwater. She chopped the siren grass finely, then carefully separated the leaves and roots of the balloon grass without breaking its air sac. The spirit watched in amazement and complimented her skill. Alicia replied that potion making was the only thing she had ever done. Alicia used her alchemy skill and created a dive potion 3, a potion that allowed underwater activity with moderate effectiveness. The potion was only rank 3, so she said they would have to hope the spirit water helped boost its effect. She tried making it with spring water as a test. She asked the spirit to lead the way and dived into the spring. The spirit asked about the glowing film around Alicia. She explained it was the potion's effect. While she was inside it, she could act as if on land. However, there was a time limit of about 15 minutes with a rank 3 potion. The spirit led her to the bottom and announced they had arrived. Alicia found the jewel wedged tightly in the rocks. She tried to pull it out, but it would not budge. The spirit told her she should resurface soon since it was taking a while. Alicia asked for just a bit longer and insisted she would get it out. With little time left, she decided to use her adamantite pestle as a lever. She wedged it underneath the jewel and pulled with all her strength. The jewel came free. The spirit cheered and praised her. Alicia noticed the potion's effect was fading. The spirit held its jewel and exclaimed that power was surging through it. Alicia recalled how the spirit had said its true form looked a little different, and how adventurers had claimed to see a dragon-like head from the water. The spirit burst out of the spring in its true form, a massive dragon-like creature launching Alicia into the air. Alicia was relieved to be safe. The spirit, now in its huge true form, happily declared that it had returned, and that this was how it ought to be. Alicia thought the spirit's true form was a bit too large. A group of adventurers were fighting monsters in the forest. A man with glasses confirmed that they had defeated all the target monsters. One of the party members said he was tired. They decided to hurry back to town. An orc monster suddenly attacked the group, smashing into them. One of the adventurers called out to their companion named Org. Even so, Alicia wrung out the water from her clothes after the spirit had launched her into the air. She thanked the spirit for saving her in that dangerous situation. The spirit, now in its true dragon-like form, told her not to worry and that thanks to her it was able to return to this form. The spirit said it must give her the promised reward. The spirit poured out magic water for Alicia. She was stunned. She did not have the appraisal skill, but she had seen enough through potion making to know. She declared it was the highest quality magic water she had ever seen. The spirit said that if she was pleased, that was all that mattered. The spirit told Alicia to take as much as she wanted. Alicia happily filled her containers. She said she wanted more but did not have enough containers. She asked if she could come back again to get more magic water. The spirit was surprised she was already done. Alicia asked if that was really all right. The spirit spat out a small jewel and declared that it would accompany her. Alicia asked if it was really okay for a spirit to act with a human, noting it was not a fairy tale after all. She said that for her it was helpful, but she was concerned. The spirit explained that since it was a spirit, it could tell that Alicia's potion making needed magic-filled water. It also said that from what it could see, Alicia had a very pure heart and otherwise it would not have answered her call. The spirit added that staying alone at the spring was boring. Alicia noted that usually human hearts tend to get dirtier over time. The spirit said that Alicia's heart actually worried it in the opposite way. The spirit asked Alicia if she really thought things through as she lived. Alicia asked if it was making fun of her. The spirit asked her to give it a name since if they were going to travel together it would need one. Alicia suggested Rand. The spirit rejected it at first, saying no Arenzia. Alicia thought for a moment. The name was inspired by a children's tale about a bullied turtle, though she wanted to keep that a secret. The spirit said it was a fine choice and that it liked it. A man with glasses overheard him say something and asked what he had just said. He had learned that someone called the green-haired potion seller had become famous at the Adventurers Guild. Apparently they had managed to create a monster repellent 3. He called the news wonderful and ordered someone to find out what kind of person they were. His subordinate, calling him Master Aaron, eagerly declared that if they were talented, they must use their skills for the good of society and people in their workshop. Alicia tried brewing a potion with Rand's magic water. Rand asked what was wrong and if there was a problem. Alicia said it was not exactly a problem. She had created a heal potion V, a potion with recovery effects that was extremely potent. With Rand's magic water, the potion had jumped up 2 whole ranks. It was just too well made. Since she was posing as a rank 4, she could not go around selling rank 5 items. Rand suggested she just dilute the magic water with ordinary water. Alicia realized that was the solution. Alicia headed to the guild. The guild staff greeted her, surprised to see her delivering potions again even though she had already delivered some that morning. Alicia said nothing in particular had happened. The staff noticed Rand peeking out and asked about the turtle. Alicia nervously said it was her pet. Rand was looking around, commenting that so this was the Adventurers Guild. Alicia was startled to hear Rand's voice echoing in her head. Rand explained that it was telepathic transmission, a spirit's ability, and that at its level it could even extend the benefit to others so that no one else could hear it. Alicia worried she might slip and talk out loud. Rand told her she would get used to it. A group of adventurers suddenly burst through the guild doors. One of them desperately asked if there was anyone with a healing magic skill. The guild staff asked what happened. The group was called the Red Eagles. One of the adventurers explained that one of their members had lost his right arm. The guild staff asked if they had gone to the clinic. They said they had, but the clinic could not help with a torn-off arm. That was why they had come running to the guild. The injured man's comrades begged someone to save his arm. The man with glasses noted that the injury had just happened and that if it was now, it should still be curable. The guild staff said it was impossible and that she could not do anything about a torn-off arm. The adventurers pleaded with everyone in the guild. Alicia spoke up quietly, saying she might be able to get a rank 5 heal potion. The guild staff was shocked. Alicia shushed her and explained that the person who made them really hated standing out, so the staff had to keep their identity secret and not mention Alicia's name either. The guild staff said she understood and that the guild could not afford to lose Mr. Org's arm. Alicia explained to the injured man's companions that whether it was a potion or healing magic, loss of a limb required rank 5 or higher to heal. She confirmed that such a thing could really heal a lost arm, but warned that if too much time passed after the injury, it would not work. She told Rand to wait and hurried off. Rand said it must hurry too since it could adjust its body size. Alicia used her synthesis skill and created a heal potion V. She rushed back to the guild, telling everyone to get out of the way. She announced that she had brought a heal potion V. The adventurers were stunned. Some in the crowd doubted it was real, saying something like that could not be obtained and that it must be a fake. Alicia told them to quickly give it to the injured man at once. The adventurer named Org drank the potion. His arm began regenerating. Everyone watched in disbelief as Org's arm grew back completely. The guild erupted in cheers. People asked where the potion had come from, and the guild staff lied that it was from a traveling peddler passing by. Org was moved to tears and thanked everyone. Alicia was relieved it had been in time. She said she should collect Rand and head back to the inn. The same group of boys from before had found Rand outside and were harassing the spirit again, saying there was a huge turtle and talking about roasting and eating it. Alicia recognized the scene from before. She yelled at the boys to put the turtle down and pulled out the shuki herb. The boys screamed and ran. Alicia asked if Rand was okay. Rand weakly confirmed, calling Alicia by name. Rand wondered what it really was, always being bullied by human children. It thought about quitting being a spirit and just living as a turtle. Alicia was shocked and told Rand not to say that, as it would be such a waste. She cheered Rand up, telling it that it was a special spirit and that thanks to it, Mr. Org's arm was restored. She told Rand that because of its magic water, she was able to make a heal potion V. Rand was moved, realizing it still had something it could do. The man with glasses and his companion noticed Alicia. The companion asked if he had heard what she just said. The man with glasses confirmed. He asked if she had just said she made a heal potion V. He and Alicia locked eyes and both noticed each other. The crowd at the guild stared at Alicia, who was sitting on the ground holding Rand. Someone muttered that the girl had just said she made a heal potion V. Org. The adventurer whose arm had been restored said he needed to thank her for his arm. Adventurers swarmed Alicia, demanding she sell them a heal potion V. One man called out to her directly. Alicia froze. The guild staff confronted Alicia, calling her Alicia-sama and pointing out that the skill she had registered at the guild was mixing IV, so how had she made a rank 5 potion? Alicia panicked, thinking that this was bad and that if they found out her real skill was mixing EX, she would be in trouble. Rand spoke up, explaining that it was because as a spirit, it could produce special magic water. The crowd was shocked that the turtle talked. For now, Alicia and Rand explained that the rank V potion was possible thanks to the spirit Rand, and they managed to calm things down. Things had gotten dangerous though. People came banging on Alicia's door at the inn, demanding the green-haired potion seller open up and saying they knew she was staying in that room. Alicia sighed, asking if this was happening again. Alicia opened the door and told the adventurer that she was sorry, but she supplied her potions to the guild so he should buy them there. The man begged her to sell him a heal potion V directly. Another man complained about the ridiculous prices at the guild. Alicia explained that the potion prices were set by the apothecary guild. One adventurer tried to pressure her, calling her a fellow adventurer and asking her to cut him a deal. Alicia called out to Rand. Rand warned the pushy adventurer that if he got too pushy, it would have to use force. The adventurer recognized the turtle from the rumors. He boasted that he did not care if it was a spirit or whatever, that he was the strongest in Trid and that they called him the Ogre Slayer. Rand blasted him with a water attack and sent him flying out of the inn. Alicia told him to please buy from the guild. The landlady came to check on Alicia. Alicia admitted that it served her right, but ever since that incident these types kept showing up. She acknowledged that with Rand around she could defend herself. She apologized to the landlady for the mess and offered to clean it up right away. The landlady told her not to worry about it, as that was the inn's job. Rand asked where Alicia was headed. She said she was going to the real estate office. She explained that causing a commotion at the inn every day was unfair to the landlady, and she had also saved up enough money, so she was thinking of buying her own house. Rand pointed out that even if she moved, the adventurers chasing her would not just disappear, and suggested that another town might be safer. Alicia said she understood, but that she had no plans to leave Trid for 2 reasons. First, Trid was close to the Forest of Forests, which meant it was easy to get magical plants for potions. She had originally intended to make a living selling potions. Second, the adventurers chasing her were also customers who came to her, and it would be a waste to abandon them. Her ultimate goal was to own her own shop. Rand was impressed and admitted that Alicia did think things through. Alicia told Rand not to underestimate her. They arrived at the real estate office. The agent asked what kind of property she was looking for. Alicia listed her requirements: something reasonably spacious with a well nearby, and somewhere smells would not be a problem. The agent asked what she planned to do there. Rand remarked that Alicia's requirements sounded like she was a serial killer looking for an easy place to dispose of corpses. Alicia quickly corrected that she was a mixer and just needed a wide space to work freely, and that location did not matter either. The agent showed her some properties. Alicia noticed one listing that was unusually cheap and asked why. The agent stammered. The conditions were good. Apparently a famous alchemist had lived there once and the old equipment was still intact. Alicia immediately said she would take it. Rand told her to calm down as she had not even heard why it was so cheap yet. Alicia asked why it was discounted. The agent explained that the mansion was said to be haunted by a ghost. Alicia said there was no problem then. Rand was shocked. The agent warned them and said they had actually requested a spirit medium to investigate. Alicia told him that would not be necessary and confidently stated that ghosts and other non-magical beings like that did not exist. The agent showed them the mansion. It was a large old building. He asked if Alicia was really going in and warned that his office could not be held liable if anything happened. Alicia said it was fine and repeated that there were no such things as ghosts. The agent showed them the living room and the bath. The place looked like it had been standing for quite some years, and Rand commented on the creepy atmosphere. The agent showed them a storeroom. Eerie laughter echoed through the mansion. The agent was terrified and asked if Alicia heard that. Alicia calmly told him to stay calm, saying it was just laughter coming from nowhere. Rand asked if they should leave. Alicia told Rand they had only just begun looking. The agent could not understand how Alicia was so unfazed. Alicia pointed out that she had said ghosts did not exist, yet she was not shaken at all despite the strange voices. She said she would explain later. They reached the last room, the laboratory. Alicia was thrilled. There was a magic-powered auto-stirrer, a heating unit, even magical tools for grinding materials. She also found unpublished research papers from decades ago. Alicia asked the agent if she bought the place, whether all of these would become hers too. The agent said yes, of course, but asked if she would really live in such a mansion. Alicia asked if he was still worried about ghosts. The agent was bewildered at how she could not be concerned. Objects suddenly flew through the air. The agent screamed that it was definitely paranormal. Alicia was more concerned about a flask that broke, lamenting that it was still usable. She noted that the entity even had telekinesis, and that the door would not open either. She said they had better handle this quickly. Rand asked if Alicia was alright. Alicia told Rand to leave this to her. 3 ghostly figures appeared demanding that Alicia give them her precious thing. They said she was full of magic power and commented on her sweet scent. They demanded she hand over her magic power. Alicia told them she could not give them that but offered them something else instead. She threw an exorcism potion at them. The ghostly creatures screamed in agony. Alicia noted that the exorcism potion made with light leaf from the Forest of Fours worked perfectly. The agent asked in disbelief if she had really exorcised it with a potion, and that easily. Alicia confirmed it was fine now. She explained that the monster called Little Wraith had been defeated. What people called hauntings were really caused by ghost-type monsters. Among magic researchers this was already common knowledge, though one would not know unless they read the research papers. The agent confirmed he would be purchasing the property. Rand told Alicia there was something in the garden. An elderly man appeared and thanked Alicia for driving out the monsters haunting his mansion. He called her the daughter of a mixer and told her the estate was hers now. He asked her to use the alchemy tools and underground herb garden well. The old man then began to fade, saying he could now ascend to heaven in peace. Alicia stared in shock. She apologized to the realtor and admitted that ghosts might exist after all. The realtor could not believe she was only getting scared now. Org and his party headed back into the forest. His companions asked if he was sure about going monster hunting again. So soon. Org said the monster that took his arm was dangerous and that he needed to finish it off quickly. He also thought about Alicia. His companions noticed something was wrong with Org. He suddenly stopped, and a dark energy appeared around him. His companions called out to him. Org panicked, asking what was happening to him. Alicia wondered why no one had taken interest in the property, noting all the rare alchemy ingredients and the many documents it contained. Rand replied that it was probably because only oddballs like her got excited over jars of preserved corpses. Rand asked Alicia what she planned to do from here. Alicia thought it over and said that even if she wanted to open a potion shop, it would be convenient to have the mansion nearby. Ideally, she wanted to build a shop right in the mansion's garden. In that case, she would need to make more potions and raise funds again. Rand pointed out that would take too long and said it was fine since he could make as many potions as needed. Alicia noticed something and said it looked like there was a space behind one of the shelves. She asked Rand to move it. Rand agreed and pushed the shelf aside without any trouble. Behind the shelf they found a hidden room with stairs leading underground. Alicia said this wasn't on the floor plan. Rand suggested they explore it all the same. Rand speculated that if it was hidden so carefully there might be treasure inside. Alicia agreed and said that if they found something valuable it could fund the shop. They headed down the stairs. Elsewhere, a subordinate addressed Lord Tomas, saying there was something he needed to report. Lord Tomas was in the middle of sword training, swinging his blade with force. He asked what it was. The subordinate reported that recently, across the territory, monster attacks seemed to be increasing. Tomas told him not to bother him with such trivial reports. The subordinate pressed on, reminding Tomas that this was Prometheus territory, once called the Demon Wastes, and that monster attacks were countless. However, in just a few days, many people had been injured, and in several different places. Furthermore, villagers from the attacked areas were saying that this happened because there were no potions, and they were demanding that potions be sent to them. The subordinate mentioned that when he heard about potions he immediately thought of Lady Alicia, and he wondered if this case could be connected to her. Lord Tomas reacted with anger, slamming his fist down. Tomas demanded to know what it mattered if it was connected to Alicia, and asked if the subordinate was suggesting that because he cast her out the monsters had increased. The subordinate begged forgiveness but continued, reporting that Lady Alicia had been supplying her own potions to the Great Scarrel Company. He said he believed the matter must be investigated. Tomas shouted at him to stop. Tomas declared that potions were all fakes and tricks, and that relying on them was foolishness. He ordered them to just increase the patrols. He said that alone was sufficient, and if it failed, they should retrain the soldiers. The subordinate submitted, accepting the command. Tomas, now alone, muttered that Alicia was supplying to the Scarrel Company. He dismissed her as just playing potion maker because she was a lord's daughter, and said that incompetent girl couldn't possibly manage such a thing. Back underground, Alicia and Rand were amazed to find such a vast space beneath the mansion. Alicia asked if it was a field. She mentioned that the spirit they had met in the garden said they could use it freely. Rand asked if that was so, and Alicia said the sight must have been too overwhelming for Rand to hear. She noted that with this space they could cultivate potion ingredients in bulk. Rand then called Alicia over, saying something had been placed there. It was a spell-safe magic vault. Alicia said it was unusual. Rand explained that unlike ordinary vaults, this one opened with a set incantation. Alicia said they couldn't open it then. Rand said that with these devices even the owner sometimes forgot the spell, so there was usually a hint nearby. Rand found the hint. It was a question asking for the title of the most famous thesis written in magic calendar year 208 by Geolus Empire scholar Nicola Legrux. Alicia was puzzled by the impossibly hard question and had no idea who Nicola was. Alicia answered that the title was an ecological study of basilisk legends remaining in the Kutania Plains, she thought. Rand was confused, asking what kind of spell that was, and then noticed that was actually the answer written on the hint paper itself. The vault clicked open. Alicia confirmed that was really the correct answer. Rand told Alicia to open the door. She wondered what was inside. Inside the vault were what appeared to be rocks. Alicia asked if it was just a rock, and it seemed that way. Rand was disappointed, but Alicia said they should have it appraised just in case, reasoning that judging by the underground field and the estate's previous owner they wouldn't have left behind something meaningless. She took the rocks to an appraiser who was shocked. The appraiser identified the rocks as altanite, manatite, and firefly luminite, and was astonished. Alicia asked if they were valuable. The appraiser said they were incredibly so. By selling these rare ores, Alicia gained far more than enough funds to open her shop. Alicia said she had just finished arranging the construction for her shop. A woman at a nearby shop noticed and asked if Alicia was opening a shop too. The woman then asked if Alicia already had her shop permit. Alicia had no idea what that was. The woman realized Alicia didn't know about it and explained that without a shop permit she couldn't open a store in this city. Alicia panicked and asked where she could get one. For potion shops it was the head of the apothecary guild who issued them. Alicia arrived at Aaron's workshop where the guildmaster was located. She noted the place was quite a large facility and looked around for the entrance. A young man approached and asked if she had business with the workshop. Alicia told him she came to request a shop permit for a potion store. The young man repeated her request with surprise and introduced himself as Ben, assistant to the workshop master. Alicia apologized for not introducing herself and said she was Alicia, an alchemist. Ben reacted to hearing her name. He explained that only the master himself could issue permits, so he would escort her. Rand quietly noted that Ben seemed a bit unusual. As they walked through the grounds, Alicia excitedly pointed out a greenhouse with a magic water circulation system and hydrophobic membrane. Ben confirmed, saying she was well informed. He told her the building in the back was an alchemy facility, a specially made blending hall built with high-shielding materials. Alicia was amazed by how well-equipped the place was. Rand remarked that Alicia was quite the odd human herself. Alicia told Ben the workshop was truly remarkable. Ben asked if she really called it remarkable. They arrived at the office. Aaron welcomed them to his Aaron workshop. He introduced himself as the head of the apothecary guild and said he held the authority to issue shop permits in the city. Aaron greeted Alicia, calling her the green-haired potion seller. Alicia was surprised and asked how he knew that name. Aaron said she was famous after all and mentioned he had heard she healed Org's severed arm. Rand then spoke to Alicia, asking if she remembered when he told her he could sense the purity of a person's heart. Rand warned Alicia to be cautious, telling her that Aaron's heart was heavily tainted. Alicia acknowledged the warning. Aaron told Alicia that even as capable as she was, opening a shop in this city was difficult. He explained that the city of Trid thrived by drawing maximum bounty from the Four's great forest. Because of that, many people wished to open potion shops there, which meant fierce competition. A lone shop without backing would not attract customers. Aaron proposed that Alicia work in his workshop instead, saying he could offer better conditions than any other alchemist. Alicia declined, apologizing but saying she currently had no intention of working under anyone. She explained that her goal was to have a place no one could unjustly take from her. She added that she had turned down Erica's offer for the same reason. Aaron asked why. Aaron insisted that in Trid, working under his workshop was the best way to succeed as an alchemist. Alicia thanked him for the offer but said she just couldn't accept it. Aaron said that was unfortunate and told Alicia he would explain the conditions for issuing a permit. Alicia was surprised there were conditions. Aaron said he was the guildmaster after all, and it was his duty to maintain potion quality in the city. He couldn't hand out permits recklessly. Aaron's condition was that Alicia had to bring him 50 rank 5 antidote potions within 7 days. If she did that, he would issue the permit. Ben immediately protested, saying the condition was far too harsh. Aaron coldly asked Ben if he was objecting to his decisions. Ben nervously backed down, saying that wasn't what he meant. Aaron told Ben to keep quiet. Alicia asked if permits were always granted with such conditions. Aaron admitted the conditions varied, but said many alchemists wouldn't be able to manage what he was asking. He told Alicia that if she wanted to open a shop in this city, she had to at least meet this standard. If she didn't like it, she could open a shop elsewhere or quietly join his workshop. Alicia said she understood. Alicia recalled that she was the one who had single-handedly made monster repellent for an entire territory. She confirmed the terms, asking if making 50 rank 5 antidote potions within 7 days was enough. She said that much she could manage. Aaron was stunned, asking if she was serious. Ben was also shocked, noting that even with the Synthesis 5 skill, the task was extremely demanding. Alicia remarked that the way Aaron put it made it sound like he had given her a harsh condition on purpose. Alicia said she needed to leave to prepare her materials. Aaron tried to stop her, asking her to stay and talk a bit more, suggesting they could exchange information on the potion industry while touring the workshop. Alicia agreed to stay, but only for a little while. Rand was exasperated. Ben noted to himself that just as the report said, Alicia couldn't resist anything related to potions. Aaron told Ben he was leaving things to him. Ben remarked to himself that Alicia was quite particular about things. Outside on the streets, Alicia was still impressed by the scale of Trid's largest workshop. Rand reminded her they didn't have much time before the deadline. Alicia agreed and said the first ingredient they needed was lily grass. A merchant called out to her, apologizing. The merchant told Alicia that just moments ago, people from Aaron's workshop had come and bought up all the lily grass in town. Alicia was shocked. Rand said they had been outmaneuvered. Alicia noted that lily grass wasn't rare, but it only grew in the rainy season, and if the current stock was gone, there was no way to get more. He said that in that case, they would have to do that certain thing while grinning to himself. Rand told Alicia to get going. Alicia thought the outside world was still full of unknowns, but not to this extent. She was gathering up huge amounts of horse manure. Several dozen minutes earlier, Rand had asked Alicia what she was planning. Alicia explained that the lily grass needed for making antidote potions had been bought up. She confirmed that at this season it couldn't be obtained, so instead she would use lily grass seeds. Rand was confused. Rand asked if Alicia meant to grow them now, reminding her that the delivery deadline for the potions was in 7 days. Alicia said there was a potion that made it possible. Its name was Growth Promotion Potion. With that alone, lily grass could be grown in a short time. Rand was amazed. Rand asked what was needed to make the potion. Alicia answered that the first ingredient was solid horse excrement. Rand was confused. That explained how things had led up to the present. Alicia spreading manure, a worker helping them load barrels, and Rand assisting. Rand complained that the previous day had been awful and that he couldn't breathe from the smell. He asked what they were searching for that day. Alicia said they were looking for a magical plant called fuyo fruit. Rand asked why she couldn't just buy it in town instead of going out to gather it. Alicia said it wasn't that simple. She explained that fuyo fruit when mixed became a heal potion, but its effect was too weak to use and the taste was so bad that even birds wouldn't touch it. Because it was considered useless as an ingredient, it never appeared on the market. Rand was confused and asked if she was really going to use that for a potion. Alicia said she would explain later, noting the deadline was close, and told him to hurry. They arrived at a cliff. Alicia saw the cliff ahead. Rand asked if the fruit growing way up on the cliff was the target. Alicia confirmed it was, according to the map. She asked Rand if he could reach it by enlarging himself. Rand said no, it was impossible. Alicia said there was no choice and that she didn't want to waste too much time, so they should head to another harvesting spot. Then she noticed something. A group of adventurers approached. One of them recognized Alicia as the green-haired potion seller. Alicia asked who they were, from the Red Eagles. The man confirmed and introduced himself as Org, the leader. Alicia noted that Org gave off the aura of a seasoned veteran. Org thanked Alicia for fixing his arm, saying he never got the chance to thank her properly. He told her she had saved him back then. He said just the thought of losing an arm when he was a two-handed swordsman was terrible. Org said he really felt bad and that he should have thanked her right away, but he had been busy chasing the monster that had mangled his arm. He said he had just finished slaying it. Alicia told him there was no need for thanks and that she had only done what she wanted to do. Org refused to accept that, calling Alicia his lifesaver. He told her he would hear out any request she had. Alicia asked Org if he could pick the plant growing on the cliff. Org agreed. He warned her that climbing barehanded would be pretty tough. Alicia said of course, and that if it was impossible, it was fine. Org scaled the cliff and retrieved the plant. He handed it to Alicia. They looked at each other. Alicia asked if she could really accept it. Org told her to just call him Org and asked what else he was going to do. Alicia thanked him. Org said he was glad she was there. Alicia was happy, saying she could now make the potion. Org shrugged it off as nothing, a piece of cake. Alicia said goodbye and waved. Org watched her leave. One of his companions pointed out that she waved at him, and another teased that it sounded like Org was falling for her. Org insisted he just felt grateful for her fixing his arm, admitted her looks happened to be his type, and said she was friendlier than expected. His companions teased him further. Org shouted that he was not falling for her. Alicia explained the process for the growth promotion potion. First, she placed the dried horse manure in a barrel and floated the fluyo fruit harvested from the great forest on top. Then she poured in magic water. After soaking it for several days, the nature of the fluyo fruit would change, turning it into a material for growth promotion potions. Rand noted that it would take several days. Rand asked if that would make the potion delivery deadline in time. Alicia said most likely. She added that during that waiting time, there were still things to do and told Rand they should prepare the underground field. At Aaron's workshop, someone addressed the chief. Ben asked Aaron what was going on. Aaron said that as Ben could see, a new laboratory was being built. Ben asked what it was for. Aaron said it was for Alicia. Ben was shocked for Lady Alicia exclusively. Aaron confirmed, saying she was a talent capable of making rank 5 potions after all. Aaron declared that once they got her, they would lock her up in that lab and make her develop new potions non-stop. She would easily make 1 or 2 profitable ones. Ben said it wasn't yet certain that Lady Alicia would join their workshop. Aaron insisted it was certain. Aaron asked if producing 50 bottles of antidote potion Vi in a week was possible. He answered his own question. Impossible, of course. They had already cornered the town's lilygrass supply. He laughed to himself. Aaron called Alicia a useful tool and said getting that prodigy was only a matter of time. Alicia was working in the underground field and complained that her back hurt. Rand pointed out she had only just started tilling. He asked why she didn't hire more adventurers again, since she already hired them for carrying heavy loads like when she moved into the mansion or carried manure. Alicia said that when it came to potion-making steps, she wanted to do as much herself as possible. Rand remarked on how much she loved making potions. Alicia kept pushing through the work, carrying crates, drinking heal potions to keep going. With 1 day left until the delivery deadline, Alicia said they had finally reached this point. She declared the preparation was finished. Rand told her she did well. Alicia used her mix skill. She successfully created Growth Promotion Potion V, a potion that boosted plant growth speed and was extremely potent. Alicia poured the potion over the lilygrass seeds she had planted in the underground field. Rand excitedly pointed out that sprouts were already coming up. Alicia was happy, noting that at this growth rate they would soon have enough. Then she paused, noticing something unexpected. Rand called out to her. Alicia arrived at Aaron's workshop with her potions. Aaron welcomed her, thanking her for showing up without running away. He acknowledged that she had at least prepared the required number of potions. He said that at first glance they looked like proper antidote potions, but warned that tricks wouldn't work there. Aaron said they had staff with the appraisal skill and that fakes would be exposed. He looked confident that Alicia had failed, but then Ben nervously addressed Aaron, calling him chief, and said Lady Alicia's name. The appraiser reported that the potions were genuine. Aaron was stunned and said that couldn't be. He confirmed that every one of them was a rank 5 antidote potion. Aaron asked if they had properly checked. The staff said they had appraised them multiple times. Aaron demanded that Ben bring another appraiser. The staff said the appraiser must just be unwell, but they confirmed again the potions were real. Aaron muttered that it was impossible and that they couldn't be real. Alicia calmly asked what was wrong and whether it was that strange for her to have prepared antidote potions. Aaron clicked his tongue and accused her of having them sent from another town's alchemist, declaring that such a person wouldn't be granted a license. Alicia noted that this was his angle. Alicia said that if he insisted, she would show him. She told them to please come in. Adventurers burst through the door carrying crates. Aaron demanded to know who these people were. Alicia explained they were just adventurers acting as delivery men and told Aaron to pay them no mind. She handed Aaron a thank you potion. Aaron asked what exactly they were carrying. Every crate the adventurers brought in was filled with antidote potion V. Aaron stared in disbelief. Alicia addressed Aaron directly. She pointed out that he had earlier claimed she had these potions shipped in from elsewhere. She then asked him if he truly thought it was possible to order 500 rank 5 potions in 7 days. Aaron collapsed in defeat and said he would issue the license. Alicia celebrated with Rand, telling him they did it. Back at the mansion, Alicia reflected that when the lily grass grew too much, she had wondered what would happen. Rand said that was surprising at the time. Still, everything worked out well. Alicia admitted she may have made too many, 500 was excessive. She said the farm work had made potion making fun. Rand noted that even so, Aaron was clearly small fry. Alicia wondered why those people followed such a workshop chief and thought maybe there was some reason behind it. Someone called out for a man named Sam. Aaron visited a man named Sam. Sam asked what it was. Aaron told him there was something he needed done and that he would pay whatever Sam asked. Alicia sighed while looking at the planned completion drawing for her shop. She said she couldn't wait for the shop's construction day. Rand asked if she intended to run the shop all on her own. Alicia said yes for now. Rand said that even though he was there, considering what happened with the workshop master, it worried him a little. Alicia ran into Org in town. She greeted him, saying it had been a long time, and thanked him for helping her the other day. She asked him to let her thank him sometime. Org told her not to worry about it, saying he only did it as thanks for his arm. He seemed stiff, and Alicia asked if something was wrong. Org insisted he was fine. Org's companions noted that he was completely flustered. They said that Org, who used to be bad with young girls, couldn't help it since he had only ever hunted monsters and wasn't used to this kind of thing. Org was deeply moved. Alicia asked what he was doing that day. Org said he had accepted a request to take down some villains. He had been searching the forest where there had been sightings. Alicia looked at the wanted poster. She recognized the face from a reference book and asked if it was the monster giant ape. Org clarified that no, it was a human villain, though he did look like one. The man was called Battleaxe Garros, with a bounty of 12 million. He was a former mercenary and the boss of a band of thieves. He was strong and ruthless, and had reportedly turned back a subjugation squad of 30 men sent by the kingdom. Org added that Garros cruelly kidnapped people and sold them to countries where slavery existed. Alicia and the others were shocked by the terrible story. Org told Alicia to be careful too. Alicia said she understood and that she wouldn't go near the forest. She wished Org good luck with the bandit extermination. Org called out to stop her. Org said he had called out to give her something. He presented her with flowers. He explained that he happened to see them in the forest, thought they were unusual, and picked them. He wondered if it was weird for a man to carry flowers, so he thought he would give them to Alicia. Alicia was shocked, recognizing the flower as a mizai flower and asking if it was really okay. She told him it sold for a good price as a valuable potion ingredient. Org said of course, since he had picked it as a present for her. Alicia said she would accept it gratefully. Org stumbled over his words, saying he wasn't hurting for money. Rand remarked that Alicia was incredibly dense. Rand said that even he had figured it out just now. Alicia asked what Rand was talking about. Back at the mansion, Alicia noticed the lock on her door was open. She went inside and found intruders waiting. They were bandits. The bandits commented that this was the rumored alchemist, noting she looked way too young and questioning if it was really her. Their leader Garros didn't care. He said they got paid enough for the job. He greeted Alicia. Alicia was shocked to see him. Alicia recognized Garros from the wanted poster and asked why the giant ape was there. Garros was annoyed at being called a monster on their first meeting and said she had guts. He confirmed he was the great bandit Battleaxe Garros, and told Alicia he had kidnapped her on someone's request. Alicia realized this was the workshop master's doing. Garros explained that apparently a monster-class alchemist was about to open a shop in town, and if that happened, their workshop would lose a ton of customers. He gave Alicia 2 choices. The first was to be sold off as a slave. Alicia asked about the other. The other was to join the bandits and make potions. Garros said they were former mercenaries and knew very well how important potions were. Alicia thought to herself that she would never let her potions be used for evil. She told Garros she would cooperate. She planned to pretend to cooperate and escape at the first chance. The bandits were glad to hear it. They took her to their hideout, which was the ruins of an old potion research institute deep in the Four's Great Forest. The facility was surrounded by walls that kept monsters out, and it had a barrier device for presence concealment, making it hard to find from the outside. Garros told Alicia that escaping or hoping for rescue was useless. Alicia reassured herself that it was okay and that there was still hope since she had powerful allies. She called out for Rand. Rand apologized, saying that even though he was with her, they still got captured. Alicia told him it was fine and that he was safe, but Rand said he wasn't really safe. The bandits had stolen his jewel, so he couldn't return to his true form. Since the attack at the mansion, he hadn't been able to control his magic properly. Alicia was worried but insisted there must still be something they could do. She asked if Rand had been captured by them too. A young man in the cell introduced himself as Luke. He described himself as a poor guy destined to be sold off by the wicked bandits and said it was a pleasure to make Alicia's acquaintance. Luke asked if her name was Alicia. She confirmed and said she was an alchemist. Luke stared at her intently. Alicia thought he looked like he stepped right out of a picture book. Luke told her they were meeting for the first time and asked if something was wrong. Alicia said nothing was wrong. Alicia introduced Rand as her friend. Luke called him an unusual talking turtle. Rand corrected him, saying he was not a turtle but a spirit. Luke said he was pleased to meet Rand. Alicia got back to the urgent matter, saying that if they didn't escape, they would have to join the bandits. She asked Rand if he still couldn't use his power. Rand confirmed that ever since they stuck him with that needle, he had felt off. Luke explained that it was called a magic inhibitor needle. It was a magic tool not in general circulation that disrupted magical flow and prevented skill use. He said it seemed to be embedded in their shackles too. Alicia noted that Luke was very knowledgeable. Luke said he had just overheard the bandits talking, having been locked up for a long time. Alicia proposed they work together to escape, calling it fate. Luke agreed, saying he didn't really have anything better to do anyway. Alicia thought he was a little too carefree. Luke shared what information he had that might be useful for escape. He asked why the bandits were holed up there. Their ship for fleeing abroad had broken down and was under repair. Luke said that if they were going to escape, it had to be before the ship was finished. He didn't know when the repairs would be done. He also told them about Garros. He had the Axe 4 and Super Strength 4 skills. Alicia was shocked that he had 2 skills. Luke added that the other bandits weren't sloppy either, and the facility was solid with only 1 entrance. Luke admitted that escaping would be hard. Alicia said they would try anyway. She said that if it came to it, she would unleash the most powerful poison potion she knew and take down the bandits along with herself. Luke was stunned and called her insane. Rand commented that she had a pretty extreme side. Alicia then exclaimed that something was amazing, it was a potion. Garros watched as Alicia made potions. The bandits were impressed, saying she had actually made a rank 5 potion just like the rumors said. Alicia noted to herself that it was only thanks to Rand's mana water. Garros told the turtle to cough up the jewel, saying the day's alchemy was over. Rand asked Alicia what they should do now. He said he could go giant and rampage. Alicia told him not to, saying there were too many enemies and they had those needles as well. Just like Luke said, the bandits weren't careless. The bandits forced Alicia to make heal potions and explosive potions. The needed ingredients were gathered by the bandits. There was no chance to brew potions for escape. Alicia thought that this way she couldn't unleash poison quickly. Garros said Alicia wouldn't be needed for a while, noting that with this many potions they would be fine even if they ran into knights or adventurers. Alicia suggested to Garros that if he wanted to escape safely, an awakening potion was recommended. She said that for a short time it drew out one's hidden true power. Garros dismissed it, saying he had never heard of it and didn't need it. He told his men to put the shackles on her and take her to her room. Alicia asked Luke what they should do, saying they had to get another chance to brew. Luke told her to relax and not rush. He told her she would ruin that cute face. Alicia told him to forget that and lend her his wisdom instead. She said she didn't need flattery. Luke asked Rand if his words were really that untrustworthy. Rand told him not to worry, saying Alicia was always like that. Alicia said if only they knew what the bandits wanted right away. Luke told her he actually might have an idea, though it wasn't potion related. Alicia was excited. Garros asked Alicia to confirm something about that potion that was like alcohol, whether it was real. Alicia confirmed it was. She explained that strictly speaking it was called confusion potion. The name sounded dangerous, but it had no harmful side effects. When humans drank it, they felt intoxicated like from alcohol. Since it had no actual alcohol, it had lately been used as a substitute when people were abstaining from drinking. Garros didn't care about the details. The bandits were thrilled. They complained about their situation, they couldn't even enter town or eat proper food, and all their frustration was piling up. They shouted that as long as it got them drunk, they didn't care what it was. Garros told Alicia to hurry up and make it. Alicia said she understood and that she would start making it right away, telling the bandits to calm down first. Their eagerness was shocking, but just like Luke had predicted, they probably wanted alcohol. Food and supplies were prepared by their collaborators in town, but hauling barrels of alcohol into the forest was tough. Alicia noted that the first stage of the escape plan was cleared. She thought about what came next, if only she could use the thing Org had given her. Back in town, Org learned that Alicia was missing. She told him that when she went to deliver potion materials to the guild, the mansion door had been left open, there were signs of a struggle, and he thought something might have happened. Alicia crushed Chidori grass, cut the stem off a vital mushroom and kept only the cap, added Land's mana water and activated her mixing skill. The result was a drunk confusion potion V, a highly potent potion that intoxicates the drinker. One of the bandits eagerly asked to drink it, but Alicia told him to wait. She said she would drink it first herself to prove it wasn't dangerous. The boss Garros watched with interest. Alicia drank the potion and showed no abnormality. She explained that it was a potion and that she had resistance to potions, so she was fine. However, since it was rank 5, the effect on an ordinary person would be strong enough to make them drunk and confused, so she told them to dilute it before drinking. Garros agreed and told his men to try the diluted version. A bandit drank the diluted potion and shouted that it was delicious, declaring that nothing he had ever drunk compared to it. The others were shocked. Garros confirmed it really was safe. The bandits cheered and began drinking the diluted potions. Alicia laughed quietly to herself. Alicia thought things had gone better than she expected. She noticed that even though Garros wanted to drink it badly, he was still watching the condition of the underlings who drank it first. She found him really cautious and figured it would take more time before she could make use of that. Garros then told her that by making them something like this, she was clearly aiming at something. Alicia said she thought she had proven useful to the bandit gang and asked if she could be granted the right to walk freely around the facility. The bandits immediately accused her of just trying to escape. Alicia insisted that being shut in the same room all the time was painful. Garros said he guessed he could allow that much. Alicia reacted with surprise. Garros said she was slow-witted anyway and there was no way she could escape. A guard would accompany her. However, he warned that they were a bandit gang bound by iron bonds. Garros warned Alicia that if she betrayed them, she should be prepared for punishment. Alicia agreed, but internally she thought she absolutely hated being under this man. She returned to the room where Luke and Land welcomed her back. She found Garros too scary. Luke asked if things went well. Alicia said yes, that the bandits were delighted and her restraints were removed. Luke asked if that really mattered. Alicia explained that earning their trust would make moving around easier, and that she had a plan. Luke asked if Alicia wasn't curious about the plan, then said he would leave it to her. Alicia wondered if Luke didn't want to go back to his old place. She thought it felt less like he trusted her and more like he simply wasn't attached to escaping. She then approached Luke, saying she had something to tell him. She thanked him, saying that thanks to his advice they were able to make progress. Luke said it was nothing. Alicia then asked him to take off his clothes. Luke was stunned. Luke panicked, saying he didn't understand the situation at all. He asked why she was trying to strip him. Alicia explained she wanted to thank him for his idea. Luke said she was skipping way too many steps. Alicia explained that since Luke's hands were tied, he couldn't wash himself, so she thought she would help clean him with some cloth she had borrowed. Luke admitted it felt gross not being able to bathe. He asked who came up with this way of saying thank you, and Alicia said Land did. Luke asked if it was unpleasant for her and she said no, she appreciated it since she was starting to mind the smell herself. Alicia commented that Luke was surprisingly well built. Luke said he had practiced swordsmanship since he was a kid. Alicia went quiet. Luke asked what was wrong. Alicia mumbled that if he leaned forward anymore it would be bad and that he was touching her. She thought to herself that this guy had no sense of danger. Over several days Alicia was made to brew confusion potions every day. While walking around the facility with her guard, she gathered the information she needed to escape. She decided it was about time to act. Luke asked Alicia what specifically she intended to do. Alicia was surprised he was getting interested in the plan. Luke said he just got worried, so he figured he would ask. Alicia thought his trust level had dropped quickly. She said for the escape she would use the mizai flower, a magical plant used for making sleep potion. Luke recognized it as the flower Org had given her. Alicia confirmed, saying she had kept it in her pocket rather than her bag, so it wasn't taken when they were captured. She explained that thanks to the confusion potions, the bandits' wariness against her potions had dropped a lot. The next time she made confusion potion, she would mix in a sleep potion made from the flower and put them all to sleep. During that time, they would secure the jewel and the keys to the shackles and escape. Luke admitted it was a bold plan. Luke asked if she was really going to go through with it, warning that if it failed they would definitely kill her. Alicia said she had been wondering whether Luke didn't want to escape from here. Luke said that even if he escaped he had nowhere to go. Luke explained that he believed his own family had set him up. They drugged him and when he woke up he had been dumped here. Returning to those people was not something he wanted. Alicia thought it was what she had suspected. He was sold out by his own family. Luke said that even if he was sold as a slave, living in a new place wasn't all bad. Alicia understood why Luke wasn't eager to escape. She told him she was different, and that she would escape. Even though she didn't have a place to return to, she did have a place she had built for herself. Luke said he understood and told her he wouldn't stop her. That night, the bandits began feeling suddenly sleepy. Alicia noted the effect was kicking in. The bandits all fell asleep. Alicia explained that she had intentionally weakened the mixed sleep potion to delay its effect, so because it was slow acting they all drank it without suspicion. She said she would go get Land's jewel back first. Luke worried about whether she would be alright. Alicia approached the sleeping Garros, saying she was pretty sure the jewel was kept in his pocket. Garros was thrashing in his sleep, making it difficult, but she found it. She then went for the key to the shackles in the back of the room. She got through it and unlocked Luke's shackles. Luke thanked her, saying his body felt light again for the first time in a while. He told Alicia she had gotten careless. They hurried on but noticed the gate guards were still awake. Luke asked if they should fight their way through. Alicia said charging in blindly was unwise since the guards might have mana-sealing needles. She pulled out an explosive potion she had grabbed earlier from a warehouse they passed. She explained that a nearby shack stored the explosive potions she had made. She would throw the potion at it, blow it up, and escape while the guards rushed to put out the fire. Luke called her crazy. Alicia said the walls were solid so the fire wouldn't spread to the forest. Luke said he wouldn't stop her. She threw the potion and a massive explosion went off. The guards panicked, wondering why the warehouse had suddenly exploded. The blast reached farther than Alicia expected and she was caught off guard, but Luke saved her. She apologized and thanked him for his reflexes. Luke said it was nothing. The guards scrambled for water, and Alicia said it went as planned and they should go. Luke asked what they would do once outside. Alicia said she would identify their location from the local plants and find the route back to town. She said she had memorized the distribution of magic plants in the forest. Luke said that only made him uneasy. They reached the gate and Alicia said all they had to do was get through it. The gate began opening on its own. A bandit returning from a food-gathering trip appeared on the other side. Alicia realized the timing was terrible. The returning bandit used a communication magic tool to contact the boss, reporting that he had run into the alchemists at the entrance. He warned that the boss would arrive right away and said he would take them down himself in the meantime, claiming they looked weak. Luke struck the bandit with a powerful blow, knocking him down. Alicia was stunned and asked if he was actually strong. Luke casually said somewhat. He then said it was too late to run now. Garros arrived in a fury, swinging his massive axe. Alicia noticed the axe and its destructive power. He screamed at them, smashing the ground. Luke said they needed to run. Alicia said it was already impossible. Luke asked what they should do, and Alicia said they would have to fight. Alicia warned that Garros had 2 level 4 combat skills, and there was no way they could win against that. Luke told her not to worry, revealing that he had a level 5 swordsmanship skill. But Alicia told Luke another plan she had, and he said he wouldn't stop her. She decided to make all the guards sleepy with her potion and pass as the effects kick in. The bandits charged at Luke. He dodged their attacks with ease, knocking them aside one by one. Alicia was impressed and told Luke he was really strong. Luke said it was thanks to his skill. Alicia asked if the swordsmanship 5 skill was really that amazing. Luke confirmed it was a skill that enhanced physical ability when equipping a sword. He believed whoever held it had likely trained hard since childhood. He added that having level 5 at such a young age was remarkable. Garros appeared, saying he had heard the stories but that trash like them could not handle what was coming. He declared he would take care of Luke himself. Garros ordered his men to catch Alicia and leave her half dead. They acknowledged. Alicia pointed out that if Garros wanted to bother with them, he should put the fire out first or the whole place would burn down. Garros laughed and said the ship for fleeing the country had just finished anyway. He said once they punished the traitor they would simply run away. Luke blocked a bandit's attack while calling out to Alicia. Garros taunted that she should watch Alicia get dragged off like a captured animal. Luke told Alicia to run for a bit and that he would be right there. He declared that Garros was up against him. Garros really chose violence over fire safety. Bold strategy for a man whose escape plan is a boat. Alicia watched as Luke held his own against Garros and was amazed. She told Luke to leave the rest to Rand and her. The bandits closed in on Alicia. She noticed one of them was holding a magic suppression needle, and thought that if it got stuck in her she would be incapacitated again. Rand asked what she planned to do. Alicia said she had an idea. Alicia pulled out an explosion potion V and said the time to use it had come. She jumped up to higher ground. The bandits panicked and screamed for someone to catch her. The explosion went off and sent the bandits flying. The remaining ones screamed and threatened to tear her limb from limb. Only 2 bandits were left standing. Alicia noted she had no more explosion potions on hand. She said that normally she would be caught with no way out, but then she looked upward. Rand came crashing down from the sky in his massive true form, slamming into the remaining bandits. The bandits were stunned, asking why a turtle was suddenly falling from the sky. Alicia explained that she had used the explosion as a blind and threw Rand, who had the jewel in his mouth, over their heads. Alicia asked Rand if he was all right. Rand said the improvised tactic worked surprisingly well. He added that when Alicia tossed him, he remembered being bullied by kids who competed to see who could throw the turtle the furthest. Rand said he would refrain from bringing that up going forward and apologized. Garros charged at them, screaming. Rand's combat resume. Bullied by children, thrown like a ball, and somehow the MVP of this escape. Luke continued fighting Garros. Garros grew frustrated and yelled at Luke to stop dodging around. Luke taunted that swinging that wide would never land a hit. Alicia noted that Luke was dodging Garros' attacks completely. She had thought about providing cover but realized she would only get in the way. Luke was stunned at how outmatched Garros was. Garros could not believe it, muttering that he was Garros the battle axe. Garros said he had made his name as the strongest mercenary in war and asked why one kid could do this to him. Luke explained that war and duels were different things. He told Garros that if he had been beaten to death in mock battles every day since youth, the outcome might have been uncertain. Luke told Garros to surrender, saying it was a waste of time to resist further. He said that with Garros' level of ability he should understand that. Luke noted that it seemed impossible to kill Garros. Garros agreed. Garros refused to give up and said he had to at least kill someone. He charged directly at Alicia, screaming her name and declaring he would not forgive her even if he had to take her with him. Alicia asked Rand if he could do something. Rand said they had no choice but to try. Garros told Alicia she had a terrible will to live. Luke called out to Garros. Luke struck Garros with a powerful blow and brought him down. Luke apologized, saying he had not expected Garros to go berserk. Alicia told him it was fine and thanked him, saying they were saved because of him. Alicia said they should be able to escape safely now and suggested heading for the town immediately. Luke agreed. Someone called out to them. Alicia panicked, wondering if it was Garros' henchman again. A familiar voice called out her name. It was Org. Most people send a search party. Org brought the whole Red Eagles like Alicia had a 5-star bounty. Org told Alicia he had heard she went missing from the guild and that he was worried. Alicia apologized and told him she had been kidnapped by bandits. The Red Eagles were shocked. Org asked if she was safe and noted she did not look hurt. Alicia confirmed she was safe. Alicia introduced Luke to Org, explaining that Org was an adventurer and the leader of the Red Eagles. She told Org that Luke had been captured by bandits like her and that Luke had saved her many times and was top class. Org stammered as he took in Luke's appearance. Alicia asked why Org and the others were there. They explained that they had come into the forest to search for Alicia and to look for Garros the battle axe. They said they had not noticed any facility until the explosion went off and they suddenly saw it burning. One of them remarked that normally a facility that large would not be overlooked. Alicia pointed out a long object on the ground and asked if it could be a magic tool that set up a barrier. She identified it as a stealth of presence barrier, which had been broken by the explosion. The Red Eagles said to leave the cleanup to them. Org noted that it was mostly already taken care of. Garros was tied up, muttering about swords. Org and the Red Eagles apprehended the bandits and took them to the town of Trid. The workshop chief Aaron, who had ordered the kidnapping, was captured. The broker who had been supplying provisions to Garros and his gang was also captured. Aaron and the broker were thrown into the watchpost's underground cells. Alicia arrived back at her mansion, sighing that it had been a while since she was home. She exclaimed that she could finally take a bath. She said she could not move another step and would sleep for now. Luke was on his own, wondering what he should do from now on. During the guard's interrogation, Alicia had parted with Luke. She recalled that even though Luke had managed to escape the bandits, he had not looked happy at all. That expression stayed with her. Luke recalled his past. A young girl had called out to him, telling him to wait and hurry up. People around him questioned whether they were really going to let a prostitute's child into the castle. They said they had no choice since the other children were no good, but Luke had a natural skill. Others praised his skill as marvelous and said he was quite different from the other brothers. Someone muttered that if it were not for him, things would be different. Alicia found Luke in town and asked why he was there. Luke said he had heard from the guards and had something to talk about, or rather to negotiate. Alicia asked if he would allow her to hire him. Luke was caught off guard. Alicia said she would offer favorable employment terms. Luke asked if being hired meant working as an assistant in potion making. Alicia said no. She explained that what she wanted was something like a bodyguard. She told Luke that regarding this incident, in a sense it was an inevitable outcome. She said he did not properly understand how others perceived her abilities. That was exactly why she wanted Luke's help. She said that right now she was drawing too much attention, and similar things could happen again in the future. She admitted she had been helpless and could not handle it alone. Luke asked if it was because he held a rank 5 swordsmanship skill. Alicia confirmed that was one of the reasons. She then told Luke that he had said he was sold by his kin. She said she was much the same since she had been disowned by her biological father and came to this town. Alicia said that somehow she could not treat Luke's situation as someone else's problem. Luke asked if it was sympathy. Alicia said that was not quite what she meant and that she was not saying she would just leave him be either. Luke said he was just joking and that he understood. He admitted that it had been a while since someone told him he was needed. He said that was not bad. Luke told Alicia that if she was all right with him, he would take on the guardian role. He said from now on he was pleased to meet her. Employer. Alicia called out Luke's name and said she was likewise pleased to work with him. They walked off together through town. Org watched from nearby and was visibly bothered. Rand noticed and remarked that Org was bothered. 2 disowned kids bonding over terrible fathers. At this rate they could start a support group. Back in Promeus territory, Tomas's subordinate reported that the Skarl Trading Company was withdrawing from the territory. He said this was bad as the domain's main income came from tariffs, and if the kingdom's largest trading company left, the loss would be immeasurable. Tomas panicked and shouted that they could not let the Skarl Trading Company leave the territory. Alicia was pacing around restlessly. Luke asked Rand what he should do, saying his employer looked like some kind of rare beast in a freak show. Rand said it was no wonder, since today was the scheduled completion day. Someone knocked on the door and asked if this was Lady Alicia's room. Alicia was startled, realizing they were there. Alicia looked at the finished shop and was overjoyed. She exclaimed that at last her shop was done. Not just the garden potion shop. The renovation work on the mansion was also perfectly finished. Luke remarked that it looked completely different. Alicia said it was finally time for preparations for the opening. Tomas stormed into the Skarl Trading Company office and demanded that Erica call off their withdrawal right away. Erica greeted him as Lord Thomas and flatly told him that was impossible. She called him a foolish lord, saying that in a territory where monster damage was increasing, people would not be able to trade in peace. Thomas went from potions are fake to please don't leave faster than a man who just realized he locked his keys in the car. Thomas boasted that his soldiers whom he had trained had already exterminated the monsters. Erica pointed out that according to merchants' information, damages near the Great Forest were still happening one after another. She asked if he had really been able to exterminate all the monsters. Thomas said fine, that he would strengthen the patrols of the soldiers. Erica told him that method had its limits. She asked him to forgive her for saying this but questioned whether Lord Thomas even knew the reason why the monsters had increased. Thomas asked if she meant she knew the reason. Erica told him it was obvious. She explained that the reason Prometheus territory had been peaceful for the past few years was thanks to the monster repellents Alicia had developed. Since Alicia, who had worked hard to spread those repellents throughout the land, had left, the monsters had increased again. Erica warned that at this rate Prometheus territory would return to being a monster den as before. She told him to at the very least allocate a budget for the production of potions within the territory. Thomas shouted at her not to spout nonsense. Thomas slammed the table and called Alicia a girl, saying he was tired of hearing that nonsense. Always Alicia, Alicia. He insisted that the reason the land was peaceful was because of the soldiers he had trained. He called Alicia a fool who only pretended to be an apothecary and asked how she could possibly deal with the monsters of the Great Forest. Erica thought to herself that Alicia had told her about this, but she was still shocked that he would lose his composure just at the word potion. She realized the situation was hopeless and there was no talking with him. She told Thomas she had nothing more to say and asked him to please take his leave. Thomas protested that the conversation was not over yet. Thomas asked Erica if she knew how much damage his territory would suffer if they all left. Erica explained that the main source of revenue for Prometheus territory was tariffs, and if the Skarl Trading Company, the kingdom's largest, left, the traffic of people would greatly decrease, causing a huge blow. Thomas said he understood and exclaimed that they should bring Alicia back. He said he did not understand what was so good about that fool, but if it meant Erica and her people would stay, then fine, he would grant it. Erica slammed the table and called him a big idiot lord. She told him there were two reasons why she disliked him. First, he did not understand the situation of his own territory at all. In a land ruled by such a leader, business was impossible. Second, that laboratory he had burned, it contained Alicia's feelings for her territory, and he had stolen everything from her best friend. She demanded that if he truly wanted them to stay, he should admit his fault and apologize to Alicia. Thomas told her not to be ridiculous and asked how he could possibly do that. Erica said that was the end of the conversation. Then, Thomas cried out begging her not to leave and saying that without her his land could not survive. Erica told him she could not hear him clearly. Thomas dropped to the floor and begged, please. Erica asked if that was so and said that if he was saying that much then it could not be helped. Thomas looked hopeful. Erica said she was just kidding. She walked out saying that since she was leaving anyway she would tell him something. She thought to herself how Alicia had endured under someone like him for 16 years. As she left, Thomas was screaming about the tax revenues and begging her to stay in his land. Erica murmured Alicia's name and said she hoped Alicia was not struggling in the neighboring territory. Erica really made Thomas beg on his hands and knees, fake accepted, said just kidding and walked out. She didn't even charge him for the consultation. Alicia was very nervous before the shop opening. She worried about what would happen if not a single customer came. Luke told her she worried too much. He reminded her that she had done all she could and even Erica had said there were no absolutes in business. Luke told her to pull herself together. Alicia agreed that at this point there was no use running away. She opened the doors and said welcome, announcing that the potion shop Green Apothecary was now open. A massive crowd of adventurers burst through the doors demanding potions. Alicia was stunned. The crowd fought over the monster repellent potions, declaring that every last one was theirs. Alicia was overwhelmed by how many adventurers had gathered and said this was not something to be happy about. Luke remarked that he guessed it was bound to happen. Alicia said that they could not even operate properly like this. Luke told her to leave it to him. Alicia asked him not to rough up the customers. Luke said not to worry, that adventurers were all sturdy people. Alicia was not reassured by that. Luke managed to get the crowd under control by forming a line with a 1 per person limit and posting a sign. The shop closed for the day. Alicia was amazed that thanks to Luke they had avoided chaos, but the line still stretched around the block. Alicia asked why there were so many customers from the very first day. Luke explained that it was because it was the green-haired girl's shop. After the adventurers, even housewives and cooks from town came. Luke told her that when he had helped with the flyers, everyone was very supportive of Alicia's opening. People had offered to advertise and hand out flyers to customers. He told Alicia that just meant there were that many people who had been saved by her potions. Alicia was moved. Alicia said that if only Luke had said that before the opening, she would not have been so nervous. Luke pointed out that until just before opening, Alicia had been so nervous she did not even hear him talking. Alicia admitted that was true. Sales exceeded expectations from the very opening. Even before the shop opened, rumors had spread, and people came from surrounding areas. Alicia thanked a customer. She said she would go prepare tomorrow's stock. Luke asked if she was alright and suggested she take a little break. Alicia refused, saying she could not let the products run out. Luke noted that running a shop was tough. He said he would like to let Alicia focus on mixing, but since there were new kinds of potions, many customers wanted the expert's explanation. Even if Luke was asked to mind the shop, he could not help with the mixing. Alicia worried nobody would show up. She got a stampede instead. Careful what you wish for when your potions are the only thing keeping adventurers alive. Several more days passed. Alicia noted it was a good thing, but the number of customers was increasing day by day. People were even coming from the next town because the reputation had spread. Rand pointed out that Alicia was overworked and suggested hiring a new apothecary. Alicia said she had thought so too and consulted the apothecary guild. But apparently there were no free apothecaries available right now. Alicia said it was frustrating, since even though she had opened the shop, she could not keep up with mixing the products. Erica noted that Alicia's complexion looked bad and asked if she was sleeping properly. Alicia admitted she had not been sleeping much lately. Erica figured as much and offered to lend Alicia one of her apothecaries. Alicia was thrilled and asked if she was serious. Erica said of course, but she would take payment. Luke was impressed that Alicia was friends with the branch manager of the Scarl Trading Company. Alicia said yes and explained that she had once helped Erica with work in her workshop in exchange for spreading the monster repellents through the land. Alicia was excited, saying that the apothecary coming that day was someone she knew and someone whose ability and character she could trust. She apologized for keeping them waiting and said she would introduce him. Erica presented an apothecary employed by the Scarl Trading Company. His name was Ren. Luke was surprised to see that he was a child. Alicia recognized him immediately and called out his name. Ren greeted Alicia, saying it had been a while. Ren introduced himself and said that by order of his boss he would be working there starting today. Luke introduced himself as well, and Ren said he was Landu. Ren was confused that the turtle was talking and remarked that it was true a spirit lived there. Alicia explained that in Promeus territory she and Ren had been like siblings. She said she was happy to work together again. Ren looked away with a humph. Luke asked if he had just been glared at. Alicia was puzzled. Luke wondered if Ren hated him. Alicia asked Ren what was wrong and whether he was angry. Ren said who knows. Rand used telepathy to ask Alicia if something had happened with Ren. Alicia said no, and that if anything she had thought their relationship was good. She decided they needed to have a proper conversation. Erica said she would be off. Ren noticed the door to the laboratory opened with a magic crest. Alicia confirmed it did. She explained that in Promeus territory, her research room had been broken into. Merida, her sister, had taken her recipes without permission and sold them. And then her father went and blew the lab up. So they had strengthened the security. The door only opened with a registered magic crest and Alicia said they should register Ren too. Alicia tried to approach Ren in the lab but he was too efficient and she could not get a chance to talk. She noticed how fast and skilled he was. Ren told her to quit glancing over and move her hands. He pointed out that she had not slept much and that if they did not finish quickly she would not get any rest. Ren told Alicia that what he was angry about was that she had not talked to them. Her father had cut ties with her, her research room was burned down, and she had not said a word. He asked if she had any idea how worried they were. He said that if she went and decided everything alone without consulting them, it felt like they did not matter much to her. Of course they would be disappointed. Ren's not mad about the exile. He's mad about the ghosting. Apparently even in a fantasy world, not texting back is unforgivable. Alicia insisted that was not true. She told Ren that her fellow compounders were important to her, and that without them she would not have endured the days of being shunned by her father. Ren asked why she did not come to them then. Alicia said she did not have any emotional capacity back then and that she was sorry. She added that she was happy he had been worried about her. Ren apologized too, saying he knew Alicia did not mean anything bad but he had kept snapping at her. He said sorry. Alicia asked if he was not mad anymore. Ren said yeah. Alicia was relieved and asked how many days a week he could come. She told him he was reliable and that she would like him to stay as long as possible. Ren blushed and told her to just move her hands already. He said they should get back to the opening preparations. With Ren around, the speed of potion production doubled. The stock stabilized and operating the shop became far smoother. Org showed up at the shop with a bouquet of flowers congratulating Alicia on the shop opening. He explained that monsters had been appearing unusually often in the Great Forest, so he had been delayed. Luke told Org that it was too bad since Alicia was out. Org was deflated. Luke explained she had gone to the trading company to send a package. Org said he would just leave the flowers. Rand remarked that Org was easy to read. Org asked if it was a package Alicia wanted delivered. Luke said yes to Erica. Alicia was at the trading company with Erica. Erica told Alicia she would at least deliver it. Alicia asked Erica if she knew that according to what Erica had told her, monster attacks were increasing in Promeus territory. Erica said that if monsters suddenly disappeared under those circumstances, maybe Alicia's father would finally recognize the value of potions. Alicia said she hoped so. Erica called out to her. Alicia is sending monster repellent to the father who exiled her. That's not turning the other cheek, that's turning the other potion bottle. Ren pointed out that Alicia's shop only sold products and asked if it did anything else besides that. He explained that potions were something people kept just in case, and that even if they sold well at first, customer traffic would drop eventually. He said that was why shops like theirs usually had at least one big business partner. Alicia asked Ren what he thought they should do. Ren was shocked she had not thought about it. He scolded her, saying she thought too much only about potions. Luke announced that Alicia had a visitor. A messenger from the Lord of Scion territory had come. Luke said someone was there for her. The visitor was Lord Gilbert's envoy. Alicia was taken aback. The envoy thanked Alicia for accepting the Lord's request. Alicia said she did not know if she could be of use. Ren noted it was not a request they could refuse. The Lord's daughter Lady Bridget was suffering from a mysterious illness. They had summoned many famous healing magicians and priests, but none could handle it. With nothing left to try, they sought medicine and sent for the recently rumored green apothecary. Since the request came from someone whose heart Rand saw as unclouded, Ren and Luke were minding the shop while Alicia and Rand came to check. Alicia asked if this was Lady Bridget, the Scion Lord's daughter. Alicia noted that for a lord to lose composure like this, her condition must be dire. She told the lord to raise his head. He told her that his daughter was inside but warned that if she sensed danger, she should run immediately. Alicia agreed and entered the room. Alicia called out to Lady Bridget, but the girl had transformed into a monstrous form and let out a terrifying roar. Rand told Alicia to fall back. Alicia asked what was going on with Bridget. The Lord thanked Rand for protecting Alicia. He explained that Bridget was a kind and lovely girl, yet somehow she had become like this. They had every great doctor and priest examine her, but no one knew the cause. The Lord begged Alicia to please save Bridget. He said he would gather any ingredient she required. Alicia apologized and explained the ingredients they would use. Yorazu grass, also used in monster repellent. Light leaf used for the exorcism potion, which needed special processing. And lastly, sunlight flower. She warned it might be a bit bright, so they should be careful. Alicia poured magic power into the sunlight flower to release the power sleeping within it. A blinding flash went off. The Lord screamed about his eyes. He apologized, saying he could not help but watch the process. Alicia told him she had warned him to be careful. The Lord asked why she was unfazed. Alicia said a compounder could not be shaken by something like that. Rand noted that probably only applied to her. Alicia activated her compound skill and created an exorcism potion V, a potion that banished evil with very high effectiveness. She said if they made Bridget drink it, she should return to normal. The Lord thanked her. Alicia added one more thing to make sure the treatment succeeded. She asked the Lord to please keep talking to Lady Bridget. Alicia just casually whipped up a rank 5 exorcism potion while the Lord got flashbanged by a flower. Different skill sets. Alicia explained that Bridget's soul was possessed by the Grey Wolves. To pull it off, the Lord needed to call to Bridget so she could regain herself. Anything was fine. His feelings for her, memories, anything. The Lord warned that even if Bridget was restrained, it was dangerous for a Lord to get too close and that if it was too difficult, Alicia should not mind. Alicia said she did not mind. The Lord declared that if it brought his daughter back, he would do anything. Alicia thought to herself how different two fathers and lords could be. The Lord approached his transformed daughter and declared he would bring Bridget back. Bridget thrashed violently. The Lord was injured but kept going. He called out to Bridget, telling her to remember. He told her she was his precious only daughter, and that one day she would proudly govern the land. Alicia recalled her own father's words that making potions was a waste of time and that a disgrace like her was not needed in the Prometheus family. The Lord called Bridget skilled in magic, kind of heart, and beloved by the people his pride and joy. He begged her to come back. Alicia watched and thought that this bond was enviable. She thought that she also wanted those like Lord Gilbert and Bridget to be rewarded. She wanted to hear Bridget talk and see her smile again. She wanted to eat with her again. At the same time, she thought about her own father's cruel words. Rand called out that something had come out of Bridget's body. It was the Grey Wolf's soul. Alicia declared she would not let it possess Bridget twice. She said that because she understood the value of that kind of bond, she had to protect it. She threw the exorcism potion and struck the wolf's soul directly. It screamed in agony. Bridget returned to her normal form. The Lord cried out that Bridget was cured and broke down in tears. At the Prometheus Territory's Forest Guard outpost near the border of Scion Territory, the soldiers were relieved that the monster repellent had finally arrived. They said that ever since Lady Alicia was exiled, the forest monsters had grown active and they had feared the worst. Now they could finally sleep. One of them asked what another was holding. Lord Thomas appeared at the outpost. The soldiers were stunned to see him. Bridget introduced herself to Alicia and thanked her from the bottom of her heart for curing her illness. Alicia was glad to see Bridget had recovered safely. She noted that Bridget was surprisingly elegant for a 10-year-old noble girl. Bridget called Alicia her Wane-sama and said everything was thanks to the heal potion Alicia had compounded for her. She showed that even the marks rubbed raw by the manacles had healed completely. Lord Gilbert apologized for losing his composure earlier. Alicia said she was glad to see Bridget looking well, though she thought Bridget seemed a bit strange. Gilbert kept thanking Alicia over and over, and the servants joined in too. He said no matter how many times he said it, it would not be enough and asked if Alicia had any wish. Alicia suggested doing business with her shop instead. She mentioned one of their products was something called monster repellent. Gilbert was shocked and asked if she would sell it to them. He said he already knew about it. The neighboring Promius territory was said to be suppressing monster damage with it. Cyan territory had also been suffering from monster attacks, but the repellent had been too difficult to obtain. Alicia explained that in naturally rich areas, magic reservoirs that generated monsters easily formed. Since Sand territory also included the vast Great Forest, their situation was similar to Promius. If Gilbert purchased monster repellent regularly, it would be beneficial for her as well. Gilbert agreed to discuss the transaction details. Gilbert went from bowing on the floor to signing a business deal in under 5 minutes. Fastest sales funnel in fantasy history. Gilbert noted that the required amount of repellent was enormous and that the tax revenue could never cover it if they were placing it along the entire Great Forest. Alicia proposed diluting high-rank potions for mass production and outsourcing cultivation of certain materials to reduce the economic burden. Gilbert was impressed and called it a well-thought-out proposal. The plan involved working with the Lord to distribute monster repellent throughout the territory. Bridget was amazed and said Alicia was cool. Gilbert asked if Alicia had been thinking ahead about this. Alicia said she had always hoped it could be achieved someday and had been considering various approaches. Gilbert said he was indebted to her again and offered to sell all his household goods as further compensation. Alicia told him to please calm down. Alicia explained that for mass production they used a magic-powered automatic awakening device that ran on something called magic stones. She asked Gilbert if he could help find personnel to replenish magic power into the stones. She admitted she was used to mass compounding, but worried she would not have enough magic left to pour into the stones as well. Bridget stepped forward and asked to be allowed to assist. She said that as someone who would one day govern Sion territory, she was confident in her magic capacity. She added that after her experience she had learned firsthand how important potions were and wanted to gain knowledge about them. Gilbert told Alicia that despite her young appearance, Bridget had enough magic power to be scouted by the Court Magician Corps. Alicia was stunned. Bridget explained that she had turned them down because she had no time for anything else. Her goal was to become a fine lord. Alicia agreed and said Bridget was more than qualified, so she was overwhelmed. She told Bridget to treat the job as a real position and that she would be treated the same as all the other employees. They shook hands. Bridget then asked if it would be alright to call Alicia Wanisama. Alicia told her to call her whatever she liked. Bridget turned down the Court Magician Corps, an exam with odds of several million to 1 to intern at a potion shop. Career counselors everywhere just felt a disturbance. Bridget was thrilled about having a cool older sister like Alicia. The scene shifted to Promius territory, where Merida, the eldest daughter of the Promius family and Alicia's sister, returned home. Thomas complained that soldiers these days were getting soft, relying on potions and such. Thomas asked Merida what she was doing there, since she was supposed to be in the royal capital socializing to find a suitable husband. Merida told him not to worry and introduced her engagement candidates. One was Rain, a court magician known by the alias Water Serpent. The other was Alec, the second son of a duke and a genius swordsman who had graduated from the Knight Academy at the youngest age in history. Thomas praised both their pedigree and talent. He told Merida she behaved as a daughter of his should. Unlike Alicia, Rain said he would prefer not to be lumped together with someone as foolish as Thomas. Merida asked Thomas if he had taken any measures about the increasing monster activity in the territory. Thomas said he had just finished encouraging the lazy soldiers who were trying to use Alicia's potions. Merida realized that her father knew absolutely nothing about Alicia's potions. She told him she had a suggestion. Merida proposed that if people wanted Alicia's potions so badly, they should actually have her make some. Thomas was appalled at the idea of depending on that girl's potions. Merida pointed out that Alicia's innate compound skill was level 1. Thomas agreed there was no way she could make strong potions. Merida said, however, that for some reason she knew Alicia was compounding rank 5 potions. Thomas confidently declared his exiled daughter could not make strong potions. Meanwhile, Alicia's rank 5 potions had an entire territory on a waiting list. Father of the Year. Truly, Merida explained that normally a skill could only be raised 2 levels above what you were born with through effort. She did not know how Alicia had done it, but said they would take advantage of that skill. Her plan was to have Alicia make potions in front of the soldiers on purpose, let them use it, and show them it was nothing special, then the matter would be settled. Thomas approved and left everything to Merida. She said she had already looked into Alicia's whereabouts and would bring her back. On the road, Alec asked Merida what exactly she was trying to do. Rain told Alec not to ask foolish things and to simply follow Merida's instructions. The two started arguing. Merida noted that both were capable, but their short tempers were troublesome. She told them to get along, saying they were both important to her. Her suggestion skill activated, a skill that influenced another's mind and made them act as desired. She noted it normally would not work this strongly, but both were easy targets because of the magic tools they had been tricked into wearing. Merida revealed her true plan to Rain and Alec. She declared she would exile her father and become the new lord of Promius territory. She said if she brought Alicia back and rebuilt the territory, the people's trust would become hers. Then she would impose heavy taxes and live a life of luxury. She did not care about the people at all. She vowed to bring Alicia back. Back at Alicia's shop, Bridget arrived and introduced herself to Ren and Luke. Ren asked why Alicia was called One-sama. Bridget said it was because Alicia was reliable, cool, and someone she admired. Ren told Bridget that Alicia had gotten her wallet stolen the moment she arrived in town. Bridget spun it positively, saying that just meant Alicia also had an adorable side worth protecting. Ren and Luke thought she was too positive and noted things were getting lively. Ren tried to shatter Bridget's image of Alicia with the wallet story. Bridget just absorbed it like a compliment. This girl is bulletproof. Luke mentioned that Erica had come by while Alicia was out. She wanted Alicia to visit the trading company once things settled down. According to Erica's subordinates, the monster repellent was never used in Prometheus territory at all. Thomas had visited the garrison and destroyed every last bottle. Alicia learned that Sion territory was using the repellent, but Prometheus was not. She was troubled, thinking they would not even let the soldiers use it. Alicia ran into Org outside. He said he finally had a day off. Alicia introduced Erica to him as her friend. Org started backing away while talking. Alicia asked why. Org apologized and said he was simply not good with young women. Alicia pointed out that she was also technically a woman. Org panicked and said that was not what he meant. He thought Alicia was beautiful, easy to talk to, and special. Alicia wondered if it was special because she had healed his arm. Erica recognized Org and asked if he was perhaps the Scorching Sword, leader of the S-rank party Red Eagle. Before Org could respond, a group of strangers approached and demanded to visit the potion shop ahead. Erica told them it was not possible and asked them to go to a different shop. They refused, insisting the shop's products were overwhelmingly superior in quality. Rain said there was no choice. Ren rushed in and told Alicia it was bad. Her sister was there and her attendants were attacking customers outside the shop. Alicia ran out and found injured people lying on the ground. She rushed to help them, offering potions. Merida appeared and scolded Alicia for being late, saying a younger sister should not keep her elder sister waiting. Alicia asked what was going on. Merida said she had told Alicia to wait until her work ended, and since the customers were gone, there was no work left. She told Alicia to come with her to Prometheus territory, saying she had something important to discuss. Alicia looked at the injured customers, then looked at Merida. She told Merida that the ones she had attacked were precious people who had come to like her shop. She demanded that Merida apologize first. Outside Alicia's shop, several troublemakers lay sprawled on the ground after a scene. A young man apologized to Alicia, saying that if only he had realized sooner. Alicia told him there was no need to apologize since however one looked at it, the others were clearly at fault, and Lady Merida agreed. Merida admitted that she had let her impatience make her behave arrogantly, and said she deeply regretted it. One of her followers insisted that the only person who could save the Prometheus territory, now in a serious crisis, was Alicia. Alicia was surprised to see a noble bow her head, though she sensed there was a hidden reason. They asked her to hear them out, and Erica muttered that it sounded suspicious. Alicia agreed to listen, saying she also had something to discuss with Merida. A tearful Erica asked if Alicia had really believed their story, and Alicia told her it was okay. Merida's side proposed that Merida become Lord while Alicia assisted her, with Merida managing the territory and budgeting for monster repellents, and Alicia protecting the domain with her potions. They called it a rational division of roles. But the truth came out. Merida explained that dissatisfaction toward their father was rising, and that suppressing the monster damage in the middle of it would win the people's trust, and make governing easier afterward. Alicia wondered if this was rebellion. She asked whether Merida had told Lord Thomas, and Merida said of course not. Merida pressed her, asking if she would abandon people she had the power to save out of selfishness. Alicia refused to agree with such a forceful method. Alicia was reminded that her mother had counted on her to protect the Prometheus territory. She answered that she could not cooperate with Merida, who lacked the authority to guarantee her safety. She recalled her sick mother asking her to help Thomas and protect the territory. Merida asked if she was fine breaking that promise and decided to make use of Alicia as a tool for potion making, seeing her as an easily manipulated doll. Alicia explained that the proper way to become a lord was to petition the royal capital and await the king's decision, and made it clear she had no intention of cooperating no matter what Merida said. Merida was stunned. One of her guards angrily told Alicia not to spout nonsense, sister of his lady or not. Alicia retorted that Merida had done nothing worthy of being chosen as lord, even as the eldest daughter. The guard scolded Luke for interrupting a discussion between masters, but Luke told him to be quiet and Alicia thanked him. Alicia thought there was only one reason Merida wanted to be lord. She had never been able to talk back to Merida before, since Merida was always surrounded by others and good at navigating the world. Alicia said she could not face her mother if she helped someone who only wanted to squeeze taxes from the people and live in luxury. Provoked, Merida lashed out and demanded on what grounds they were saying such things. Luke calmly echoed her question and told her he would happily let her keep talking. Meanwhile, Merida was reminded that a moment earlier a girl had been tending to a customer Merida had injured. That girl was the daughter of the Lord of the Sion territory, working at the shop to learn about potions so she could serve her people once she became lord. Alicia asked Merida whether she had ever done anything for the people. Turns out the family business and the family villain were never in the same department. Merida snapped that it was enough, but Alicia pressed on, asking what her vision was even if she did become lord. She said that since she dealt with Bridget daily, Merida's words sounded shallow to her. Telling Merida to sincerely apologize to the customer would be pointless. Then Bridget, the shop owner with the long fair hair, declared that Merida was a nuisance and told her to never come to the shop again. Merida trembled with rage, unable to believe someone like Alicia had spoken to her that way. Org, the large adventurer, complimented Alicia on the impressive retort. Alicia said it was thanks to the two behind her. Merida stormed off, shouting for everyone to wait. Luke seemed troubled by something, and when Alicia asked if anything was wrong, he said it was nothing. Luke noted that Alicia was the daughter of the Prometheus Lord. They agreed treatment should come first and decided to head back and report to everyone. Elsewhere, Merida was shrieking, furious at having to go through something so unpleasant, calling it unforgivable and unbelievable. Merida told her companion Alex Rain that there was something she wanted to buy, vowing to make Alicia regret defying her. Outside, Alex questioned whether she was really going through with it, saying that blowing up the shop was going too far. For someone who claims to do everything for the people, she sure starts with arson. Alex argued that unless they went this far, Alicia would not come to her senses, since Alicia had become stubborn after being disowned. Merida agreed it could not be helped and that it was necessary. Determined to do anything for Lady Merida, Alex hurled an explosive potion at the shop. The potion shot through the air and detonated with a huge blast. But Org appeared, having caught it. He told Alex this kind of thing was troublesome and that Alex had left so quickly earlier that he had stayed on guard, figuring he might try something like this. Org politely asked the two to leave just as they were. Alicia was crying. Org explained that Alicia had finally opened the shop she always dreamed of and looked very happy right now. Inside the shop, Alex Rain reported to Merida that there was only one employee inside and they decided to eliminate them and continue the operation. Org sat atop a bound man holding a sword. Alex assumed Org had told someone to hide on the roof because of his size, but Org said he never said that. Luke confirmed Org had been the one to suggest it. Org told Alex that this was not him telling him to do it, but trust. Merida brought up Org, the adventurer called the Scorching Sword. She had heard from Luke that he was one of the top-ranked adventurers, with a tale that he had single-handedly defeated an ancient dragon over 1,000 years old. The other man fired an explosive potion straight upward, and Org scolded him not to do that since it had burned a little. Org warned that even if Alicia were Merida's real sister, he would not show mercy if they tried to do something terrible to her, and said he would drive them back by force. The bodyguard who fights dragons in his spare time versus the rich girl with the throwing arm. Not a fair match. Alex Rain lunged at Org with a blade, scoffing that someone of legendary status would never side with Alicia, and that he would dispose of a mere shop employee in no time. Org activated Acceleration 3 and closed the distance. Their blades clashed, and Alex was shocked at Org's speed. Alex boasted that his sword was praised as Godspeed, and that he had even beaten an official member of the Royal Knights. Org told him his speed was impressive but that he relied too much on skills, then asked if they should continue. Org swept Alex's legs out, and Alex, stunned that someone like him equal to a knight had been defeated so easily, demanded to know who he was. Org answered that he was just a potion shop employee, perhaps. Merida called out to Alex Rain as he collapsed. Then Rain, the long-haired court magician, stepped in, telling Org not to underestimate a court magician's power in conjuring ice. Org judged that Rain had at least Water Magic 4, possibly even Water Magic Vi level skill. Rain swore he could not lose for Merida and launched a massive ice spear. Org noted the size of it. A huge wall of ice shards crashed down. Rain cast Icicle, sending a barrage at Org. Org charged straight through the shattering ice and struck back. The ice exploded apart in a brilliant flash, and Luke, Bridget, and the others watched in awe. Org asked if that was the end. The Scorching Sword walking through an ice storm feels like cheating, but nobody told the ice. Merida clicked her tongue. A staggering Rain muttered about a monster as Alex called out to him, and Org stood over Rain. Org told the others it was fine to leave them be. Merida fled, screaming for them to remember this. Org said there was another matter since another person loved Alicia dearly and they might come back to the shop again. He decided that would not be a problem. Merida, retreating, cursed her useless followers and noticed a suspicious bracelet on her arm. She vowed that no matter what means she had to use, she would absolutely crush Alicia's shop. Then a voice told her to stop right there, addressing her as Merida Prometheus. A blonde woman with two flanking men confronted her. Merida tensed. The woman, Erica Scarell, asked if Merida had tried to blow up Alicia's shop with that earlier explosion, noting that judging by Merida's appearance, it seemed she had failed. Merida demanded to know what business Erica had with her. Erica said Alicia was too kind-hearted and soft on people like Merida, then declared that Merida was going to sign something. Merida asked what it was. Erica explained it was a magical contract, an unbelievably high-grade item that read, "From now on, you will never again involve yourself with Alicia." She warned that anyone who signed it would be struck with intense pain if they broke the promise, and added that trying to run was pointless. Defeated and in tears, Merida said she understood. As Merida signed, writing her name Merida Prom, Alex and Rain burst in shouting that they had found her, vowing to repay the humiliation 100-fold and demanding how Erica dared manipulate them. Erica smiled, saying that Merida's feelings for those two were genuine. Merida panicked as the bracelet started coming off, realizing this was bad. She signed a contract to never bother Alicia, and her loyal goons showed up to prove she has feelings after all. The timing was immaculate. Within the Forest Great Forest in the Prometheus territory, Merida's furious screams of "as if I'd forgive you" rang out, while elsewhere she begged to be allowed to start over. In the Dark Forest, monsters were being dragged away one by one. Among them slithered something enormous with massive jaws and dripping fangs. A colossal multi-headed serpentine dragon rose up, its many heads looming over the smaller creatures, its body covered in jagged crystalline armor and its eyes glowing. Merida groveled on the ground, apologizing again and again, saying she was so very sorry. The day after she had arrived, she was arrested by the guards. One of the men she had wronged asked how he could ever make up for hurting the shop's customers, even though he had been manipulated by Merida. Alicia gently asked him not to apologize so much. Alicia admitted she felt a sense of guilt herself, since even though she had been disowned and cut ties, a relative of hers had caused such a scandal. She told Alex and Rain that the two of them were not at fault. Merida had manipulated them using skills, having secretly attached illegal magic tools to both of them. As the guards hauled her away, Merida screamed that Alicia was the daughter of a count. Alicia asked the two to please look up and offered them some tea. It turned out the previous workshop chief had been trying to make a spirit grow a hard-to-raise mint. The mint was considered a super rare material because it needed a massive amount of magic power just to germinate, and had to be given the exact amount of water and magic power every single day. Rain said this explained the situation in the underground and remarked that it sounded tough. He was glad he had consulted Alicia and relieved the matter had been cleared up. Alicia insisted she had not done much at all. Alicia petted Land and asked the two if their business was finished, pointing out that the royal court magicians must be busy and they should head back soon. She mentioned it was the same for Erica and that everyone at the shop had grown more vigilant ever since the incident with Merida. She was reminded that when she explained her sister's reckless actions, she had also talked about being exiled from her territory and her family circumstances. Alicia was startled at the word exiled. Someone remarked that even she had not been able to invite her own big sister to tea yet, while Alex and Rain had grown close to Alicia, and figured that was why they had come to trust her and were all so happy. Through telepathy, Luke was asked whether he had told Alicia that Merida came to blow up the shop that night, and Lenny was asked the same. Both said they had not. They figured she would be shocked to learn two members of her own family had directed such hatred toward her. So after consulting Erica and Org, they decided there was no need to go out of their way to tell her. It was called a wise choice, and they got ready for opening. Hiding the bombing attempt to spare her feelings. The workplace that communicates by deciding not to communicate. A few days later, on a closed day, the staff wished there were something to take Alicia's mind off things, since she seemed worn out by everything involving her sister. A man named Ben arrived with a souvenir, apologizing for the sudden intrusion and saying he owed Alicia for the last time. He introduced himself as the workshop chief of the Aaron workshop, the one who had taken it over. Bridget asked what his business was, and Ben said there was something he wanted Alicia to look at. Ben explained that inside their workshop there was a magical plant of unknown appearance, thought to be a potion ingredient, which the previous workshop chief Aaron had left behind. He asked if Alicia could investigate it. Her eyes sparkling, Alicia told him to leave it to her. Ben said that while organizing the previous chief's room to take over his work, he had found a hidden workshop built inside a secret passage, where Aaron had apparently been making forbidden potions for an underground organization. Deep inside it lay something more. There was a magical plant that appeared to be guarded by a monster. They arrived at the cave, where a large creature sat sleeping inside a cage. Lenny wondered if it was sleeping. Alicia said it was a little eerie, but she did not feel scared, and Luke thought it was even a little cute. Bridget was surprised anyone would call that a monster. Lenny suggested it might be better to exterminate it, but Ben said he had thought about that too, only there were too many mysteries and it felt eerie. He warned them not to get too close, since it would unleash magic attacks. Lenny asked if they could get details from the previous chief, but Ben said Aaron had been sent to the royal capital over too many other crimes, so he had wanted to gather at least a little information first. He asked Alicia to lend him her wisdom, even if it was only what she could tell from a distance. Alicia swayed as if entranced, saying the plant was still growing but there was no mistake, and that she never expected to encounter it in a place like this. She drifted toward the cage despite the warnings, Luke shouted for her to wait. The creature's eyes snapped open and it unleashed a burst of magic at the ground. Luke pulled Alicia out of the way just in time. Lenny asked if she was all right and what she thought she was doing. Alicia said she was fine thanks to Luke. Luke reminded her that he had told her not to get close. Alicia apologized. Luke said it was fine since he made it in time, but he wished she would not do things that made him worry so much. Alicia promised she would not do it again. Land asked Alicia to hand over the jewel, then told everyone to just watch. The caged creature reacted with alarm. Land approached and began communicating with it. Land said it had used telepathy, and now understood the creature's circumstances to some extent. When asked what it had done, Land said it should be fine now and explained that the creature was not a monster but something close to a spirit. Bridget exclaimed that it was a spirit. Alicia asked if it was an existence similar to Land, and Land said not exactly the same, though they could communicate. Land said the creature was injured and asked Alicia to heal it. Alicia worried they might be attacked again, but Land said there was no need to worry anymore since it had told the creature they were safe. Alicia used a heal potion, pouring it over the creature, which healed and rose to its feet as a fluffy white dog-like spirit. Alicia noted its appearance and reactions were completely like a dog. The spirit shook itself and bounced around, and even its bark sounded like a dog's, letting out a woof. Alicia found it so cute and petted it. Lenny wondered where all the earlier tension had gone, and Luke noted it had grown attached to her and seemed grateful. The terrifying caged monster that fires magic on sight turns out to be a fluffy lapdog. Truly, the scariest thing in that cave was the lantern bill. Bridget cried that it was unfair since she had not even been allowed to pet it yet, and Lenny asked if that was really what she was envious about. Land explained the creature was part of the existence that ruled over the Forest of Foals, not the main body, but something like a clone. When Alicia asked about that existence, Land admitted it did not know the details, but said those living in the forest somehow felt its presence, and the special soil it created nurtured high-quality trees. Alicia asked if it was a spirit with the ability to help trees grow, and Land said that was about the size of it. Aaron had found this creature with that ability by chance, and tried to imprison it there to grow magic plants. It had been treated roughly when captured, which was why it was wary of them. The spirit nuzzled Alicia, and Land said that as a token of gratitude, it would give her the magic plant buried there. Land said the creature had not wanted to give the plant to Aaron even if it died, but it did not mind growing it and giving it to Alicia, who had healed its wounds. Alicia asked if it was sure, and the spirit barked happily before letting out a flurry of barks and unleashing its power, making plants sprout all around. The mint grew tall with a final bark. Lenny gasped, and Alicia recognized the plant. Then the spirit suddenly vanished. Bridget cried that it had disappeared, and the others realized it had returned to the forest. The others were amazed, saying they could not tell at all while it was in its pre-growth form. Land explained the spirit had been away from its main body for a long time, and must have wanted to return as soon as possible. Alicia said that if alchemists knew its true identity, none of them would be able to keep their distance from it. When Bridget asked what it was, Alicia called it a very precious compounding material. It was Sage's mint. Alicia explained that with it she could make a magic potion, which let a person use magic one time even without magic-type skills. Surprised, the others asked if that meant using magic without a skill, and Alicia confirmed it. She said each potion only granted the specific magic assigned to it. A fire attribute mint gave fireball, a water attribute one gave icicle, and so on. But she thought it was still useful. Bridget said that if it could be mass-produced, it might help defend the territory, though Lenny thought that would be difficult. Alicia said being able to see such a rare material was thanks to Luke and Land being there, and thanked Land. Ben then asked if it was alright to have his people deliver the sage's mint to the green apothecary, pointing out that the spirit had grown it as a gift for Alicia, and it was on her workshop grounds. Alicia protested that Ben was the one who had found it. Ben said he would be in trouble if Alicia did not take it. The circle of alchemists urged her on, rattling off that sage's mint was a rare chance for research and compounding, and that such opportunities almost never came, while one of them admitted he did not understand any of it. Alicia finally agreed to take just a little bit. Outside, someone told her they were glad for her, and a beaming Alicia agreed. She had gotten the sage's mint. Luke told Alicia not to stay up too late researching and not to be late for opening preparations, then said goodnight. Alicia said she would be careful. Someone remarked that Alicia really had an eye for potions, which was a troublesome thing. Alicia thought to herself that she was hiding the truth about her actual skill level. Lenny and Erica knew, but telling everyone would only cause unnecessary worry. She had told the staff about her circumstances, but since this was such a rare chance, she wanted to compound the magic potion at EX rank. The attribute of this mint was Thunder. To make an X rank potion, someone with the compounding skill had to do the preliminary processing, feeling the flow of magic power in the material to raise its quality. This required a considerable amount of magic power. She channeled magic into the mint leaves, raising the material's efficacy to its very limit. A material whose efficacy had been raised to the limit could sometimes violently erupt, something Alicia had read about in a paper. The material sparked and burst violently as she worked. Alicia activated compounding and a potion formed. Magic Potion Thunder X. A potion that let the drinker use the magic lightning a single time with efficacy that surpassed the realm of humans. It held monster-class magic power, the kind that had once made potions for an entire territory. X-level lightning. Holding it up, Alicia announced, "Ta-da, this was a magic potion," and started to say they should drink it right away before catching herself. Realizing that had been dangerous and she had almost tried it out of habit, she decided to keep it just in case something happened, even though she did not know if a chance to use it would ever come. The girl who makes a weapon strong enough to level a territory and then nearly chugs it like juice on reflex. The shop's safety record survives on luck alone. A group of adventurers reached a stretch of land where everything had rotted, and they wondered aloud what it even was. The whole area was covered in animal carcasses. One of them noted that even for normal decay, this was an abnormal level of decomposition. They asked whether all the plants and beasts in the entire area were rotting. There were also traces showing that a large number of monsters had fled. Just in case, one of them suggested they have the guild appraise the carcasses, since it almost seemed as if the creatures had seen something terrifying. Word reached the capital that the garrison soldiers had been completely wiped out, and people asked what on earth had been there. A report stated that the soldiers had been attacked by a powerful monster and were forced to abandon the garrison, and that only a few had managed to escape. Lord Thomas cursed the situation. He thought about how they had not even heard from Merida, and his mind turned to Alicia. The nobles who had supported him were withdrawing one after another, and even the negotiations to keep them had failed. The Scarl Trading Company had pulled out, all at a time like this. Lord Thomas thought that ever since he exiled his worthless daughter, everything had gone wrong. He wondered whether Alicia had truly been the one saving the territory with her potions, and whether what that woman had said might have been true. Then he told himself that he did not have time to think about that exiled girl now. He reminded himself that thanks to the army he led, the Prometheus territory had been saved, and that he was the chosen warrior who had slain a mighty enemy commander in the war against the Northern Empire. When a subordinate asked him what was the matter, Lord Thomas said it was nothing and ordered the soldiers in the capital to be gathered. He declared that they would eliminate the monsters that had attacked the garrison, and a soldier answered, "Yes, sir." At the shop, Alicia told Bridget that her magic control was as impressive as ever, and Bridget happily said she was glad. Alicia then recharged a mana stone and the others were amazed. They told her it was as impressive as ever, and one admitted that recharging a mana stone like that would have taken them 30 minutes. Another said they sometimes ended up exploding mana stones themselves. They wondered what kind of mana pool she had, calling it impressive even among skilled people. Alicia thanked them. They noted that with this, the magical tools should be operational for now, and that they had really increased the potion research equipment. Someone asked how much all of that had cost, and another remarked that it must mean business was going well. Alicia insisted it was fine, saying they had saved up as well, so it was not that bad. A coworker told her to look them in the eye when she said that, and pressed her about whether she had spent a ridiculous amount just because she got carried away. Alicia admitted she was weak to the word adamantite and apologized. Then she announced she was going to deliver goods to the Adventurer Guild. A coworker decided they should ask Luke to scold her, while a younger staff member thought that their big sister Alicia, who kept spending recklessly on research, was so cool. Nothing settles a budget argument quite like suddenly remembering you have a delivery to make. The army rode out, and as they looked down at a massive creature, one of them said that was the Hydra reported in the area. The soldiers were stunned by how huge it was and asked whether they were really going to fight that thing. One said that if they did not, he did not know what Lord Thomas would do to them, and another agreed that this was obvious. They told themselves that if it was a Hydra, they just needed to counter its poison breath, and asked whether the healers were ready. The healers answered, "Yes, sir." Robson addressed Lord Thomas, reporting that the soldiers were completely exhausted from continuous battles with monsters, and that they did not have enough recovery mages. He said that as Lord Thomas's deputy, he had to report something. Lord Thomas asked what it was, calling him Robson. Robson suggested they prepare a large supply of antidote potions before engaging. Lord Thomas asked if he was still saying that nonsense and stated that potions were a crutch for the weak. He said that compared to the war in the north, which had been harsh, battles with monsters were child's play and there was no need to fear each monster individually. He told Robson that was enough. Robson warned that this was not an ordinary creature and that the monster had wiped out an entire garrison. Lord Thomas asked whether he was disobeying his orders and declared that no matter what abilities the enemy had, everything could be overcome with indomitable spirit. Robson thought this was bad, and a soldier said that once Lord Thomas was like this, he would not listen to anyone. Lord Thomas ordered the magic unit to prepare. The magic unit fired, Lord Thomas shouted now and ordered all units to charge. The Hydra began to breathe and Lord Thomas paused, wondering. Suddenly there were screams. Someone cried out for Lord Thomas and another said this was bad. They asked if he was all right. They realized they had underestimated the Hydra's regeneration and that the magical injuries were already starting to close. They said they needed to press the attack while magic was still effective. Someone shouted that the Hydra was making that wind-up motion and warned that it was poison breath. They called for everyone to retreat. The Hydra unleashed its breath and the soldiers screamed, crying out to retreat, though some pointed out that Lord Thomas had ordered the charge. The wounded begged the healers to use detox magic, crying that it hurt so much. The healers cast antidote and said it had healed, but the pain would not go away. They tried one more time, but the poison would not go away. The soldiers asked what was happening. Even after repeated casting, it was no use, and they said none of the other spells were working, even though they were high-level casters. They wondered whether the Hydra's breath was not poison after all, and whether it could be a new type of monster. Either way, they did not have enough information, so they thought they should retreat and regroup. Someone was shocked that the soldiers could not even move from something like poison. Lord Thomas called them useless fools. He said that was not ordinary poison, and told the soldiers to just endure the pain with willpower, insisting that the troops he led in the Northern War had not been this weak. A soldier said that since even detox magic did not work, it might be a new type of monster. And Lord Thomas asked, so what? He declared that retreat was not allowed under his command. The soldiers told him they could not continue this fight and that they should retreat, but Lord Thomas called it nonsense. He said now was the time to show their pride as soldiers and ordered all units to charge again. He warned that if they defied him, they would face terrible punishment, and the soldiers of Prometheus territory moved only through that implanted fear. Robson told him that at this rate the army would be annihilated. Lord Thomas said to just obey him because the Northern War had been won that way. Lord Thomas had one answer for poison, regeneration, and sound advice alike: indomitable spirit. Robson told Lord Thomas that the reason he had been able to defeat the enemy commander in that war was pure luck, because his opponent had been a warrior type who accepted his duel request. Lord Thomas told him not to be ridiculous. Robson said that this time was different. Lord Thomas ordered all units to move out. As warnings came that the army would be wiped out at this rate, Lord Thomas raged about how dare that lizard ruin his territory and began to order a charge, but Robson told everyone not to charge, declaring that they were retreating. When a soldier called him deputy, Robson ordered them to bring back as many wounded as possible and return to the capital. A soldier answered yes and understood. Robson also told them to head to Trio in Sin territory and request reinforcements, and to immediately report the situation to nearby territories. He said to request his cooperation as well, since there should be an S-rank adventurer there known as the Scorching Sword. At the guild they discussed the strange situation, and the guildmaster was asked whether he had any idea what it was. They said that if neither the S-rank adventurers nor the appraisers knew, they were out of options, and that the only one left who might know was her. Just then Alicia arrived to deliver potions. Someone said that even if they had money, they should think things through, and that they could buy better equipment but should consider it a bit more. Alicia started to apologize, but someone said she had perfect timing, since when in doubt one should rely on knowledge. Alicia was confused. They showed her a sample and Alicia said this was most likely a curse. She explained that it only matched creatures afflicted by what ancient texts called a curse. The others repeated the word curse. Alicia explained that unlike poison, a curse affected the soul rather than the body, so it was difficult to detect even with appraisal. Someone said it was a status abnormality similar to poison and quite rare, and another asked what exactly a curse was. They were impressed by how knowledgeable she was. They worked out that a monster which used curses had appeared in the forest. Alicia said there were ways to remove curses, but that compared to detoxification, the difficulty was much higher. She added that there were only a handful of recorded sightings. Someone agreed, saying they had never even heard of such a monster, and that it did not appear often. Alicia confirmed this. They noted that very few monsters were capable of it because curses were extremely powerful but required enormous mana to use. Alicia recalled that when she was a child, she had read about a curse-using monster in the Royal Library. She thought that the conditions in the Great Forest did make it possible, but that it was still unlikely. For a monster nobody had heard of, it was doing a remarkably thorough job of ruining everyone's week. Then Prometheus soldiers burst into the guild asking whether the Scorching Sword was there. Org asked what they wanted with him. Alicia noticed their armor and recognized them as Prometheus soldiers. The soldiers announced that a Hydra had appeared in Prometheus territory, and that it spat poison-like breath that antidote magic could not cure. They requested the Scorching Sword's participation in the subjugation force. Org turned to Alicia and asked whether this hydra had anything to do with the curse she had mentioned. Alicia said yes, that it was probably the source spreading the curse, and that it was not just an ordinary hydra. She called it a curse hydra, a disaster-class monster capable of destroying entire cities on its own.